Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? One second. Let me respond to DA. Now that I sent that over to DA, sorry for the break in the intro here. DA is still going, but he said that he will go ahead and redirect. I did set it up to where people should be able to redirect to me now. I just left it open so anybody can redirect to me. We'll see if it works. He says that he's going to do it. We will see what happens. With that being said, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the people that are here early. And then, I mean, I don't know when he's ending, but I'm assuming it's pretty soon because it's pretty late. So let's go ahead and shout out Emily Kruger. What up, Emily? How you doing? Congrats on the growing channel and doing all those awesome all your artwork videos. Those things are doing great. Emily says hi to Rockefeller. Right on. Rafa Balde, how's it going out there in Portugal, brother? What up? What up? What up, Rafa? What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing? All right, we'll go ahead and well, I'm going to start off by saying, look, normally on this channel, I kind of don't get into politics, but it's the biggest story out there. So we will be talking about some of this stuff. We'll be getting into some of it here in a bit. I'm going to wait for some people to roll in because I know some people want to talk about it. Some people are interested in it. I'll be going through random clips, random tweets, and everything like that. We'll be getting into it. I usually do not. I try to keep politics out of like a lot of my stuff, doesn't matter which way people lean or whatever. I'm probably more for some of this stuff that's going on than against, but still, whatever. I don't know. I find it easier to keep that stuff off your channel because then it starts divided. Like, I don't like that division bullshit, whatever. I'm down to talk to anybody about anything for the most part. And but it's the biggest thing going on right now. It's just going out there. How can you not address the elephant in the room type of deal? So obviously we got to talk about it a little bit. We got Peepers in the house. Yo, Short King. What's up? What's up, Peepers? Or AKA Catfish, Cinevere's Fish. You're going to have all sorts of nicknames before the end of the year. Watch. I don't know if Rockefeller is there or not. If Rockefeller is there, I will be bringing him on here in just a second. I believe he is there. So let's go ahead. Rockefeller, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
I was turning and burning one. My bad. I was coughing. I think everybody want to see. If you know,
It's all good.
What up, people? Good. What's going on? Short King Spring up in here. What up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So DA did mention that he's going to try to redirect it, and good thing we just set that up like literally 30 minutes ago.
That's lit. Did he really say that? He's going to redirect the
stream? He was like, I just figured out how to redirect, and I was like, cool. We just learned how to turn it on, so we'll see if that works. We'll see how many people show up. I mean, if he redirects 100 people, if we get five people to stay, great. That'll be cool. Yeah. I mean, it's super late. I understand. It's not. This time is not for everybody.
It's more chill, relax. We have a different little flow here. Everybody's got a voice. Like there, but we're a little bit more.
Yeah, we talk about whatever topics are there, but also like I like to bring up the chat a little bit more. Like I know DA does eventually get to the chat, but I try to be on top of like what the chat is talking about while it's going on. I'm trying. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, if we get rated by 100 people, that shit's gonna get fucking blown out of proportion. It's gonna take me a second.
He was doing good with it, man, with the chat. He was having a great time. Like he
does it in segments. He does it in segments, and then really far behind. Then he goes back, and then he catches back up. So I try to do it about whatever topic that we're on, and then we'll go for there. Since Rockefeller can't say hi, waited on here. I say hi. What's up, titty committee?
Shout out to all the titty committee out there. We need more titty committee members. Please join the titty committee. The kitty titty committee. What am I saying? Titty committee.
Dick Avengers, aka
kitty titty committee. Yeah. I'm just saying titty committee. Time out.
We'll see how the raid works out. I don't know. I let it on, or I let it go to see how it even works. I don't know if DA is still going. I think his is actually done. Oh, cool. We're getting some people in. We got Obi Dean,
kitty committee.
Uncle T says titties. What's good, Nestor Panios? What's good? Ames S. What's up, Ames S? How you doing tonight? Nestor Panios again with gents. Yes. We're gonna be. I just saw that DA's stream just finished up. Hey, T, if you wanted to jump on, man, let me know. I'll shoot you the stream.
Let me change my name.
I'll send it to you anyways. If you want to jump on, feel free. If not, it's all good. I know it's late. We're going to be talking about whatever. Can we continue trolling Uncle T? I did not see the trolling. I was trying to get this set up, and me and Rockefeller were talking. I was trying to listen in and do both, but I can only hear so many things at once. So, yes.
We're going to change my name real quick.
Rockashilla, my man.
What up?
Yeah, like how come it doesn't show our names?
I think it's because you got the comments up right now. So with the comments up, you can't see. Okay,
yeah.
Now you can see when you take them.
There we go. We got Katima, King of Ywkanda. We got the white panther up in here. The white panther.
White people.
Oh my god! Hey, the raid worked. Yeah, we got all sorts of people. I'm not sure how many people will stay, but hey, whoever does, thank you for staying.
Welcome.
We're just starting. We're just getting into the topics. We're just gonna get started. Now I got to say hi to all sorts of people. Yo, Syfaxx and Rockefeller redirected. Awesome.
It worked.
Right on.
GG's.
It totally worked. That we literally figured it out 30 minutes ago, and then DA was like, "Hey man, I just figured out how to do that." Like it's almost kismet. It almost worked out just perfectly. Is it a record? Oddly enough, there was one night where I had 60 people viewing. But I think it was all bots because I tried to talk and nobody was responding. But I had like 60 viewers, and I was like, "What is going on?" It was when I did that 12-hour stream. Yeah, Derek Anderson. Hey, what's up, DA? Thanks for the raid, brother. It totally worked. Yeah, we just figured this shit out like 20-30 minutes ago before you mentioned it. So it just kind of worked. This totally worked out. Right on.
I was like, you know what? We were talking in the background. I was like, you know what? Hey, Syfaxx, because I don't know shit about computers. And I was like, oh, I think I figured out how to get people to raid me. So if I put YouTube and chill up like right now, like maybe later on, like you're gaming or something, you could like redirect your game stream to me. He was like, let's try it. I don't know why we got it, but
Eric's like, I just figured it out this morning.
Let's go.
We just figured it out, like I said, 20-30 minutes ago. So hey man, perfect timing. Like I said, hey, thanks for the raid. It works. Awesome amount of people. I understand if
you're awesome.
A bunch of people don't want to stay. It's all good. I appreciate you guys at least checking it out, even for a few minutes. Hey, even if all you're gonna do is stop by, at least hit that like button. If you're not subscribed and you would like to be subscribed, just hit that subscribe button as well. But at least hit the like button, because even if you leave, then it'll show that there was a lot of people watching. And like, I understand it's late, so maybe people that are on late will see it and be like, "Oh, that stream's doing well." It'll get boosted out there. That'll be cool, man. So I'd appreciate that. As many likes as possible. That'd be great. Go ahead and
share screen. We said invite out to Uncle T. So
nice to see you in a different stream. How are you? Yeah, Stacy Gardner. Yes, DA raid from Corbin Bear. DA raid. Yeah,
we're figuring out how to do YouTube. We're not noob tubers anymore. We're figuring this shit out.
I will join with it, Obi Dean. I will help.
If my boy Abe's out there in the spirit first, I try to send him one too, because we love Abe on this channel. So get on here, Abe. Get your ass up.
I sent him a message. DK Bones. Hey, DK Bones, man. If you wanted to jump on the stream, let me know, man. I can shoot you a message.
I'll put the banner on the bottom. See, we're new to this, y'all.
Yes, if you want to feel the drinking, there will be we will be having some drinks. I'm having some beer. I usually just put it into this kind of cup because then I don't have to show logos and everything. But yes,
this is great.
There'll be some drinking. We'll be talking about some that White Panther nonsense, or, you know, the Black Panther possible, like the joke
That's
on the
me.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah, it's clearly
That's
Rockefeller. Just he's 1 for 1. Duh. I mean, just look at the guy. And then
that's what freckles are. It's a soul trying to leave my body. There's so much of it.
Can chill for a little bit. I got to get some sleep soon. I have some videos to upload. Hey, right on, man. If any of you guys are YouTubers and you're pushing out those videos, get on it. Go ahead. It's a fun thing to do. Hopefully you guys are getting good views. Go check out Stacey Gardner. I don't have their, I don't know if that's, is it just at Stacey Gardner? Is that your YouTube? If so, go ahead and check that out. Or if peepers, if you want to check out Stacey Gardner's link, go ahead and post that in the chat forum. Go ahead and shoot it out there. That'd be cool.
Draconis, you liar. No, we're not doing that, Draconis. Quit playing.
Black Panther paternity test still pending.
Don't you dare try to not claim your child. All right. This is your kid. Don't you get that shit. He looks just like you.
Gonna get some real traction now. There you go. Yeah. So well, obviously with the news about obviously this massive double standard that's going on with Black Panther, right? So obviously this was a joke that happened a good 4 or 5 years ago. I feel like the Black Panther Ryan Gosling meme, where, you know, everyone is talking about all this race swapping and all this shit, and that was like the first thing that people brought up was Black Panther. Well, what if we race swap Black Panther? How would you guys feel about that? And, you know, they probably just laughed it off. Well, now we're here and they did it. And the meltdowns on it are crazy because it's massive hypocrisy. That's what it comes down to. It's just mass hypocrisy.
So what was the first major one they did? I was trying to think of Nick Fury. That's MCU.
Maybe.
But what's the first like major race swap they did? Like, how far can we go back with Disney specifically?
Oh, with
Nick
Disney?
Fury?
Ooh.
Because that had to be was that a Paramount thing? Because I think that was filmed. The post credit scene was filmed when Disney acquired the Paramount. I think it was like.
I think that wasn't that through Fox back then? Because Fox
I think it was Paramount that did Iron Man, but I think they bought it like right before it was done, and they added the end credit scene. I think so. That's why I'm thinking like they might have did that, but it might have been Paramount that did it.
Obi Dean says not the first white Black Panther in comics, FYI. I did not know that. That's interesting, but it's probably it's the first one since all this nonsense has been happening. I'm assuming, you know, with all this all the race swaps. But what I find interesting about it is the obvious hypocrisy about it all. To where if we go out there and we complain, why are you turning all the white characters into Black characters? And then, you know, once that happens, it usually never goes back. Though now they finally did it to a Black character into a white character, and they're the people who would defend it the other way melting down. Absolutely, there's fucking melting down. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, man. How do you feel about all that so far?
I follow Verbal Riot, and Verbal Riot is probably one of the best people I follow on Twitter. And he's just like, you know, like, yeah, I think he had a tweet that showcased the people that were like, all for this when it's one way, but when it just comes to a certain color, oh hell no! You know, I think Kata did a video on it where it's like people like, oh, this is an isolated area. How did white folk get in here? It's like, look, these two Dora Milaje bitches in the background over here. You tell me they ain't sneak outside the fucking Wakanda fucking dome once or twice? You know, like, quit playing, man.
It's ridiculous. But here, let me go ahead and
kudos to Marvel. Kudos to Marvel for doing this. Good job.
If you just go onto X and you type in the first couple thing, you just type in latest on Black Panther, and I think this might be a joke, but it's a rumor going on, which is okay. Yeah, cool. It's pulled up. It's Ryan Gosling as Black Panther before GTA 6. Didn't have that on my bingo card. It's like, look at this. Ryan Gosling will be the new Black Panther in the MCU from another universe. I think this is just like a joke going around, but that's the first thing when you type in Black Panther. Like,
because everyone's like, is this real? Is it real? You know what? But if they get cast, you know, everybody wants to cast him. Hey, Marvel ain't got the money to cast him. He's gonna be a younger actor. And second off, they got the money to make it Ryan Gosling. We might get Anya Taylor-Joy as Zelda, but don't think this is actually going to happen. Look for somebody a little younger to portray it. But it might happen, and it's going to happen eventually. Black Panther 3 is coming. I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to age the kid up. He's going to be it. I wouldn't be surprised if the kid that comes up, when he's, because they're going to try to age him to be almost a teenager and be the throne taker, like the kid that was introduced in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. They're going to try to age that kid. See how they're aging the kid up really fast in MCU? They're going to age him up and be almost a teenager.
They need to.
Well, it's going to be pretty crazy if they age him up, if Katima comes out as a teenager and battles him for the throne. Because the MCU is guidelines for their stories, but they do different variations. So
it's like a lot of the same story, but with like the younger cast and like they have slightly different backgrounds, but it's all kind of the same each time.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's in Black Panther 3. So I mean, they're pushing this out for a reason, for people to not only get used to it, but
so check out this. So this is from some guy named Eze Nwazo, but he's like, white hypocrisy needs to be stopped. So he's already trying to balance it out, just to show like, well look, James Bond for 70 years, 7 actors, 27 films, 0 black James Bond. But with Black Panther in only 7 years, we get 3 films, 2 black actors, and 1 white actor. So it's like he's tried to call out the hypocrisy, and it's like that is not the hypocrisy.
Technically, we got 3 black actors and no white actors. So again, we had my man, we had Homegirl, and now we got younger T'Challa. So we got 3 black. He just hasn't grabbed the mantle yet, and we don't have 1 white actor. So that's it. Don't let your lying eyes deceive you, people. That's not true. So nice try, buddy. Go try to sow to more division. That's an awesome fucking artwork, though. The artwork, when you look at this page, this is what the new artwork looks like. And I love how it's like, you see like it's all shadowed over here. It's not the same artwork we grew up in the 90s, but the artwork is fucking good nowadays, man. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like the last time I was buying any type of Marvel comics or whatever, it just, something about it looked cheap. It looked too like photoshopped or some shit. Like you could just tell everything was done on a computer. Yeah, it was just too much. It didn't look like anybody hand drew anything. Yeah, it definitely looks a lot more digital than they started doing that in the late 90s, just because it gave it a polished look, kind of like CGI. But you're right, they use way too much of it now, because you can tell when you open it up, it's like everything is digital. Yeah, Nestor Pineos, the movie called Superhero Movie back in the day already did a Black Professor X. Yes, played by Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's incredible. They predicted the future. That shit was funny too. But I mean, that's an obvious joke, though. They knew that this would be it's a superhero spoof movie. That makes sense.
That was funny. I forgot about Tracy Morgan did that.
Obi Dean is asking.
That's a good question. Let's look it up.
Well, here's the page from the panel.
Let's see when the
I don't see.
I'm gonna see Katima first appearance. Let's put a Katima first appearance first and see if that's the actual comic that we're looking at right there. June 4th, 2025 is his first appearance. So this is brand new. That's why I was like, I'm gonna go out and get this. Hold up, y'all. Don't have a whole bunch of white people start rushing out to the comic stores and buying comics that haven't bought comics in 20 years to buy this one Black Panther. Don't do that. All right. If you buy comics, go buy it. Don't be that asshole.
So I mean, come on, you don't want this novelty item, this just awesome novelty item?
Yeah, I'm getting it, but I can back it up with the other Ultimate Black Panthers I've been buying the past 7 months now. How long has Black Panther been out? 6 months. So
see if I can blow this one up.
But this is an Ultimate. I don't think it's appeared in Marvel Knights: The World to Come #1. So Katima first appeared in Marvel Knights: The World to Come #1, was published on June 4th, 2025. The comic created by Christopher Priest and artist Joe Quesada. That's why I like the art. I should have known that by the way it looks. I didn't think he was. I should have known that.
I mean, the art looks whatever. It looks fine.
I'm glad you said that. I'm like, who is that? You know me, because I'm always giving Gary a hard time. Gary hates when I say that. If you ever go to Nerdrotics chat, I'm gonna be like, Gary, who's the best artist of all time? It's obviously Jim Lee from DC. In my opinion, he is. But Gary will be like, he fucking sucks. I hate dude. Jim Lee's awesome. If you ever see him get the dry erase, watch me draw a Joker. He got a big nose like this, right?
Syfaxx was buying comics from Greg Land. I don't know who Greg Land is, but I'll take your word for it. The guy tracing porn. I've heard about somebody who did that. Yeah, but I don't know who that. I didn't know
Like
where I got
Tracy
those.
Porn.
I didn't know the guy's name who I got those comics from. Thanks, man. Now I know.
What's tracing porn?
No, so like you would like put tracing paper or whatever, and you would go over porn images.
Oh, I
and
thought you
then
meant
you would,
okay. I thought it was like
So
video
somebody-
files you were talking about. I was
if
like,
I remember right,
download
somebody would do
copy?
that for their cover art. They would find like a porn DVD or something. They would trace over some super hot chick, but then they would put like the face of whatever superhero it was. Or
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Whoever did that, shout out to that's good as shit. We need to start doing that if we haven't. So I'm definitely gonna get this. I want to get this. This will be a
let's have a movie about Bob Marley played by Owen Wilson. Yeah.
I should screenshot.
Definitely do that.
So y'all
you'd be like, all right, no, what's his what is the thing that Owen Wilson says? Owen Wilson has kind of like a catchphrase that he says in every movie.
All right.
Yeah. There's a certain line that he kind of always says.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's wow. That's what it is.
Wow. Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. It's like everything's gonna be all right. Wow. Like what?
Wow. Now it's gotta be somebody younger, like well, they already used them. I was gonna say that guy Joseph Quinn that plays fucking the Human Torch.
Don't they have Timothy Chalamet? Don't they have a movie with Timothy Chalamet with a bunch of braids and shit out there?
Well, you don't have to have like braided hair, but you need somebody that's gonna be buff or someone kind of in shape. You know what I mean? And Timothy Chalamet is about 4 foot nothing. You know, he's 80 pounds wet in the shower.
Bob Marley wasn't buff. He was like a skinny Rasta dude.
I'm talking about Black Panther. Not Bob
Marley. Yeah, no. We're talking. I was responding to that. Timothy Chalamet is Black Panther. That'd be so fucking awful.
With some braids. Everything
with some Rasta braids.
No, fuck that shit. They have him coming in just like, what Jaman, Shaba, what the fuck is this? I'm Black Panther, man. I'm a Katima, the new Ywkanda. Oh, hell fucking
dude, that would go over so well. I mean, I could just see it just selling all of the tickets.
You need to leave.
Just all of them, though. You know.
Oh, we got somebody in the background. You know that. We were having such a good time. We got a widescreen.
Uncle T in the background. What's going on, Uncle T? How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. Hey, some of the things about the race swapping thing, right? It's because, you know, obviously sometimes the portrayal of, you know, Black people is bad, right? And now what's really interesting is, man, it makes it seem like we're real emotional because that's how we're characterized, right? Because most people don't know us, man. They see us on TV, man. They see us on TV. They say, oh, man, Michael Jordan or so-and-so. Basketball player, I think I know him, but they don't really know us, right? And then our lives are set to have to impress. So that's why they get mad about, oh, man, shit, man, why you doing the race swap and shit and doing all that stuff, man? So it's really like a deeper conversation, man, than the surface level. It's like an iceberg, right? But, I mean, I don't care.
When it comes down to like what the actual movie portrays these characters as, yeah, there could be a much bigger conversation behind that based on what we've seen and everything. But as far as whenever there's news announced about it, I mean, most people just immediately go to, of course you did that, of course you changed that, you know. You don't even know the story yet, so I mean you can't. I mean, it could be a great story. There's probably plenty of movies that have swapped people that, you know, I mean, obviously Nick Fury is a great example of it, to where they did that and most people just accepted it because it's Samuel L. Jackson. Like if you get like a really big name actor, like even the kind of the stuff you were talking about when it came down to Professor X and Magneto, and if you switch them into being Black characters, but you had them be like Denzel Washington and Giancarlo Esposito or whatever, it's like, yes, those are great actors. I don't have a problem with the way that they would probably act in that movie. It's just what it means for the rest of the characters and like what it means for their original stories and stuff like that. That's where it starts falling apart for a lot of people. And then, like I also said, when you see that, your first reaction is, of course. And then the other thing that's going to happen is, well, now their problem that they're going to have is racism. They're going to have double racism on them when it comes to mutants and shit like that, because it's like, well, now you're racist against Black people and mutants. So it's like,
I think sometimes it's not as deep as what we all make it appear to be, man. I think mainly it feels inauthentic. I think when things are swapped like that, it just feels inauthentic. I'm not getting the real thing. I don't want to get the Walmart version of what I know to be, you know what I mean, the Lexus version. I want the real thing, and it's hard. Like most of us, hey, this is fan fiction, and I know this fan fiction to be this. I don't know it to be that. I know it to be this. And they're switching things up on people without giving an explanation of things. And the
Well, I mean,
explanation
to a certain degree, you could almost like let me throw out like a random stupid thing out there. Say like a sports car, right? Say you know a certain sports car that you want, it's awesome, and it costs the same as another one. You buy the one that you like. Say you like Ferrari, right? And then they give you a different brand. It's still the same car and it can still do the same job, but it's not the fucking thing that you went out to buy. It's not the thing that you've seen envisioned in your head for the last like 20 years. You're like, this is my dream car. This is what I want it to look like. This is how it's like, well, it still does the same job as the other one, but it's like, yeah, but I paid for the other one. This is what I invested in. This is what I am invested in. I'm invested in what this one is. I want this for a reason. It's like, yeah, but the other one does the same thing. It's like, but it doesn't though, because it's not what I've been thinking about for the last 20 freaking years. That might not be a super great example, but that was the first one that came to mind where it's like, sure, these things can all sure, these people can do all the same job. Your job is to be an actor. That's not the problem with a lot of this stuff. It's the character that you're portraying. It's the thing that you want. It's the thing that you've envisioned. And it's the thing that you've been shown for however many years. Some of these characters, 6 is longer than we've been alive. These characters have existed. Why do you got to change it now? When you're finally getting them on the screen in a certain way or whatever, why do you got to change them now? It doesn't make any sense to me.
So here's my question. Is this political? Because if you know how comics are made, let's say they take about 3 months, no more than. They're very fastly produced. Like Syfaxx said earlier, this looks digital. It's because it is. It's produced very fast. In less than 3 months, they're written, they're manufactured, they're sent out to the comic store. So if this came out June 4th, when was this made? Let's just call it June 1st. No later than March 1st, possibly February 1st, January 1st at the latest, 6 months ago. Is this political? Bob Iger came out saying, we're going to stop. We're going to get off the woke shit. We're going to back off. We're going to get off the horse. Is this a way to try to get people back on board to be like, look, because we've been calling saying, look, if you're going to, all joking aside, if you're going to keep doing this race swapping, why don't you fucking make Black Panther white? What character did they make white?
Yeah. And I mean, obviously everybody did that as a joke and
we were just using the
ran
most
with it.
Outlandish character, the most darkest one, and then to see.
Yeah, well, it was the most prominent one out there right now. The one that I always turn to, the one that I would always turn to would be Blade. Like, does anybody want to see a white Blade? Just another white vampire out there killing vampires? Does anybody want to see that? I mean,
I don't.
But does it really matter in a way?
No,
like
it doesn't.
If you want to throw that argument out there, it doesn't matter.
If you're gonna race swap Marvel,
I don't want to see
Black Panther. But again, just like you said, I didn't really want to see it. It was just a joke. But they went and did it because it's a way for them to try to get fans back on board, which they may have lost. It's creating a lot of online discourse, which is good. Debating is always great.
It's also kind of funny that
it's about to get me back into the comic, buying another comic, because I haven't been buying fucking I'm about to say Moon Knight, Marvel Knights, but this is brand new. It's part 1, so I'm gonna buy this motherfucker. I'm gonna try to get the fucking the good copy of it right here for our enjoyment, ladies and gentlemen.
Just frame it on your wall behind you. But hey, there's another thing that we kind of bring up all the time, and it's how slow that the media is behind what the audience wants. So even if like these big companies, they want to finally make that turn. So think about how long ago this meme was probably put out there, and now it's finally catching on. That's probably what's happening. It's like, oh yeah, remember that thing from 3 years ago? We're going to do it now. But they don't realize it's a joke because it's so old that they look it up and they see something crazy like Ryan Gosling Black Panther trending. They're like, we absolutely need to do that. And they don't realize that everybody was kidding. Like it's a joke to point out your hypocrisy, but they just run with it.
I think also too, so they're playing on two things, right? I think it's what Derek Stream said earlier is You know, they don't know Hollywood or entertainment is they don't have their pulse on what entertainment is doing now. They used to always have it, and now it's controlled by online, by social influencers and all that other stuff. And they can't keep up with it, so they're just throwing anything up against the wall to see if it sticks. Gen Z is problematic for them. They don't want to play by the rules, man, and they're willing to stretch this thing out as long as they can in order to figure it out. And the problem is that they may not financially be feasible to do so. They can't hang out that. And as far as the characters being swapped, I mean, tell me the last time you said, "Hey man, I want to be Blade, man. Hey, you know what? I want to be Black Panther." Do you see yourself as Black Panther? No, you don't see that shit. So I mean, come on.
Yeah,
That's why they swap them.
Well, I mean, obviously they're taking the safe route by doing it in the comics, because comics can have many universes. They can do many runs. They can do stuff in the future, in the past, in a separate thing. It can be a total spinoff, whatever. This one, I guess, is a part of, it's like a future story. And, you know, it's like Chitala's, or Chitala, whatever. He's already old. Like, he's kind of on his way out anyways. And this is like his stepson or adopted son or something like that, I guess the story is. So it's kind of like a safe way to do it in today's world. If you were to do this shit in like the 90s or 80s, nobody would care. They would just be like, oh, that's a weird twist on that. Right. Nobody cared back then. Nobody cared. Now it's just now. Like everybody. Well, no, but
now everything's political.
It's just funny. Now it's just funny. Like, I mean, to us, anybody that's just like a regular person looks at this shit and is like, this is ridiculous. It's funny because they obviously took this. Like, now it seems like they took the idea from a meme. And I feel like I've seen that even in movies and stuff lately, where it's like you can see like meme influence and stuff, which is weird. It's a weird thing to see when you see it in like movies and now comic books, and you're going to see more of it. I mean, they did that with even, what was it, Minecraft? Sure. But I mean, that kind of works because it's kind of like a kid's movie, but they do it in regular movies and stuff all the time too. Like, you know, they hit random TikTok dances and stupid shit like that. It's like, what are you guys doing, man? Like, this isn't just because it works for 20 seconds on like a TikTok doesn't mean it needs to be in a 2-hour movie.
T been in marketing said it good. You know, it's all jokes aside. Have I went out and bought a Black Panther? Can I see myself in it? I can't, but now I can. Listen to this. Those jokes aside, Spider-Man kids right now. Spider-Man's doing it right. Sony, they got Miles Morales. They got Gwen Stacy, and they got Spider-Man. When my nephews or anybody's nephew can go to the store, they can buy a Spider-Man that they resonate with, that looks like them, might be their gender, whatever, and might speak their fucking language. So this is a good hit. This is all for you.
I mean, with Spider-Man, they also with Spider-Man they have that
actual Black Panthers fans doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with Spider-Man they have that. With Spider-Man, they have that infamous clip back in the day of Stan Lee being like, "That's the beautiful thing about Spider-Man is he can be anybody under that mask." Like that's you know, people use that clip to justify stuff like Miles Morales and whatever to be Spider-Man, and I'm like, look, it works. It's from the creator. That's whatever. Obviously, Miles Morales is supposed to more appeal to like the new age kids and all that stuff, like the younger kids and whatever. But and you know, having a clip like that to sit there and justify it kind of helps that argument a lot. But that's like the only character that's ever really like explained that way. The rest of it, whatever, you know, like there you go. Negress Snape with Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
Yes, well, that's fine to say. He's not Spider-Man.
That'll blow up the internet every time it gets posted.
When my nephew who's in second grade thinks of Spider-Man, he thinks it's a spider family, and he thinks anybody can be Spider-Man. That's all he knows. He knows the Spider family and friends. All three.
Keep
of them.
holding it down. I'll be right back.
Goes to his fucking I think that's his name, right? Gwen Stacy. I think her name's Ghost Spider. I think it's, you know, because it's not Spider-Man because she's not a man. I think it's Ghost Spider, and then it's Miles Morales. What do they call Miles again? They call Miles something different. He puts Spider on. Somebody will tell me in the chat. And then Peter is Spider-Man. So everybody has a different name, you know, and that's fine. I'm cool with it because from a marketing standpoint, I want to reach the biggest audience there is. And to me, if you're a Black Panther fan, I can go show you the fucking Ultimates I got right now. The whole Ultimate story. minus the new X-Men besides part 1, because that fucking should go. So I got Spider-Man, then it goes into Wakanda, the Black Panther, the Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate, I think it goes Ultimate Black Panther twice, then Ultimate Spider-Man again, then it goes to Ultimate, the new X-Men. I was like, this thing sucks. So, but if you're into it, you're going to can stay into it. If you're a real Black Panther fan, it's a mantle. They said it in the movies. They made sure to say that DC, it's a mantle, no matter who it is. So because Chadwick Boseman died, how are we going to pass on the mantle of Black Panther? How did he receive the mantle? From his father, from his family member. It is a power bestowed upon a family member that this family has been burdened with and gifted with. It's a gift and a curse. And just because this will help the story, which is a great story, it's going to help resonate with a wider audience. You don't have
I think
to
what they're saying, but what people are saying, the reason why people get on that, man, and they say, damn, you motherfuckers got all these goddamn many characters. Why are you choosing this black one, right? But see, the reverse goes and saying, well, damn, you can create any character you want. We already got these. Create something different. And I think it's just brand power, right? You want to attach yourself onto a known brand. It's just like Disney buying Marvel, right? Disney didn't make up their own comic division. They bought something that's good because it was an established brand, and then they branched off. That's what they're doing, man. And they're doing this stuff and putting out a lexicon to make it more acceptable for what they're doing to us. So it's all to create the debate.
T, your mic is froggering out again, dude. Like
I don't want to
every
tell
3 seconds, it's just like.
And I like.
I don't know what. I don't know if it's. Do you talk through your headphones or through your phone when you're?
When my headphones. Is it better now or no?
It's sometimes when you're talking for a long time, it's just like it'll be like, yeah, man, and then it just makes this. It makes like a ribbit noise. It's kind of funny.
Is it better now?
No, it's still doing it.
Jeez,
you might need to reconnect your headphones or something.
Oh god,
mine does that when I go too far away from my computer because I haven't connected through Bluetooth.
Is this better now?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that's better. Yeah, okay. You're better now. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that some of that stuff, it's boiled down to just confusion, man. Like this is a conversation. Okay, let's see what the story is, man. Instead, everything.
It's back again. What is going on? Sorry, man. It's just you're trying. I know you're trying to say something, but then like every third word ribbits. ribbit. Like it.
You can deal with it. Go ahead.
No, it's good, man. It's good. Spasms of different dimensions.
It just sounds like the Budweiser guy. That's all. It just sounds like you're saying Bud. Wise. We got used to it by now. Go ahead.
T is in the 666. Yeah, that's the universe I'm in. I'm in that universe. I'm turning white. Hilarious.
He's currently in a world where Galactus is eating like the planet, so like he's just cutting in and out before it goes to like complete darkness.
Hey, you guys aren't having that conversation about is after the summer we're in a fucking dead zone for movies. Dead zone until next December. Jesus Christ.
That's true. I mean, I don't even know what the future holds besides Spider-Man next summer. So I mean, that's Christmas and fall and spring. I have no idea what's coming besides Ironheart next week. If y'all haven't gotten your subscription to Disney Plus, make sure you get it because next week Snow White comes out, and the week after that Ironheart comes. So you need to go get your Disney Plus subscriptions up so you can be ready for not only Snow White if you haven't seen it, which drops on Disney Plus next week, June 11th, but also Ironheart the week afterwards.
Yeah, guys, make sure to get out there and get your Disney Plus subscriptions because you don't want to miss out on being able to see Snow White for yourselves because I mean that's just it's pure entertainment. And then like 2 weeks after, like Rockefeller just said, then you got Ironheart. I mean,
2 weeks.
What a great time to buy Disney Plus. I mean,
great time to be alive.
I mean, and maybe if you're lucky in that month span, Thunderbolts will also drop on there. And then I mean, you'll just hit 3 for 3 on that. What a time to buy Disney Plus.
You know, I'm kind of curious.
Oh my God.
Is because I haven't seen the new Avengers. Is that's still in the theaters, right? They're trying to cross 1 billion with that or something. I mean, that's still in the theaters. New Avengers. What's it called? Thunderbolts.
Oh, Thunderbolts. I think it's still there. I think no. I think they just pulled it, and it did 3. What is it called? Box Office Mojo. Right.
Didn't do 400, right?
Mojo.
So how long would that take to get to digital? So I don't have to fucking keep trying to watch a shitty version on YouTube. Allegedly,
It's usually a couple weeks.
Use a couple weeks, 2 months. It'd be after.
Well, Disney is one of the few that actually. That's actually this is the one thing that I like about Disney's model when it comes to streaming is like once it's off the theaters, it only takes a couple weeks before it goes onto the streaming. Other stuff, it takes like a lot longer. That's the only thing I can like give them props on. But they're putting a bunch of stuff on there that nobody wants to watch, so it kind of doesn't matter.
Captain America didn't come on there till May the 28th.
That came on there recently. That's why I told DA, he was like, "Why'd you watch that?" I was like, "It just recently came on there."
It dropped like April 20th or something, didn't it? Or no, it was March.
No, it was March. It was fucking mid-March when it came on.
No, Captain America came out in February.
On
February,
streaming?
yeah.
February 14th.
On streaming?
That's maybe it's I don't know what happened with that one then, because usually most of their stuff, I mean, they've been doing this weird release schedule to where, I mean, there's been some movies that straight up 3 weeks that they'll get like a 3-week rent time in the theaters. Then about a week later, you can rent it on like a streaming service for like for a month. And then after that's out, then they just drop it on a streaming service. Just if you have that streaming service, that's been the pattern for a lot of these ones lately. Anyways. But Thunderbolts ended with 371 million, just shy of 372, which is not great.
Was that movie good enough? Was that movie good enough? They would have been better calling that movie like White Widow. It would have been better, man. I like White Widow and Bucky.
Dude, at least with White Widow, you could have got a bunch of stoners thinking it was about smoking weed. Like,
right. But if you would said Bucky, Winter Soldier, and White Widow, that would have been great. Yes. I would have okay. Let me see this story, man. Like the Thunderbolt, because that wasn't a Thunderbolts. This is what I'm talking about. That wasn't a Thunderbolts. They're always trying to change stuff, man. Changing the rules. And everybody get mad when people say, "You know what? That fucking sucked, dude. I'm not into that. It sucked."
That was not the Thunderbolts we know, but I give him a kudos to what's the guy named Bob? Why is it slip my tongue? Syfaxx. The Void. What's his name? Sentry. They did pretty good with him. I'm not gonna lie. For a Marvel version
like
of the Sentry,
the couple scenes like this, his Superman ripoff scene was. It was fine, except for like he's just fighting regular fucking people, and there's a couple of people who are like they're Captain America strong, but they're not going to be Superman strong. He's basically Superman, and he's fighting like 5 regular fucking people. And
he was OP, man. He was way OP for that movie.
Well, way
OP.
I mean, at least with like what was it called? With Suicide Squad, the first one, not the James Gunn one. The first one, when they're fighting Enchantress, it's like sure there's like a bunch of kind of regular people, but then you have somebody like Diablo who's like a freaking fire demon, and it's like, okay, now you have like a magical being versus another magical being. Yeah, you at least have somebody who can combat that. With this, you had nobody. There was. The only one that I even theorized on it was Ghost, because she can vibrate through stuff. So it's like maybe she could do that, phase and grab his heart and be like, there you go, there's your character, and then you could turn that shitty character Ghost into somebody who can possibly stop someone like Sentry. That would have been way the fuck cooler than just talking him down. Like, I think that would have been cooler.
That's what Marvel's like. T said it best though. When was that? Last night we were talking to him. You like, we can't beat him up.
Had is the right word. Had Taskmaster is the right word. That's definitely the right word for that. Master Pineos. Oh damn! Really?
Task got mastered. Hey, dodge this. Boom.
It's dumb. That was so dumb. And look how they just that's one of the first Marvel movies where somebody gets killed and they just move right along. Oh, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing.
Yeah, they just move on.
A woman got killed.
You know, it's funny that the little the frog burping sound while you have like the super darkness around you, it looks like you're doing like an anon type of thing where it's like you should just start spouting government conspiracy stuff and be like, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I see no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgotten.
I gave a really good one earlier. Nobody bit on it, man. You're actually eating people. You are eating people. The meat,
doing Soylent Green type of shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're eating people, for sure. Everybody's a zombie. That's why they show us the movies.
T, you're old enough to remember that movie Alive with the plane crash. Did you watch that movie?
Yeah, a long time ago, man.
Dude, it's a hard watch, like fucking just like Brokeback Mountain, but fantastic movie if you can get through it, bro.
I wouldn't use hard
with a bunch of cannibalism and stuff.
Yeah. So it's about like a plane. I think it's like 16 people total. I might be wrong. It might be 12. But I think it's 16. And they're going over like somewhere. I can't remember.
They're probably doing like a take on the Donner's Pass party type of shit where they fly over the Rockies
in the mountains, somewhere cold, and they
Yeah.
crash, and like a lot of people die on impact. And the other ones are trying to wait it out to get rescued and basically resort to cannibalism on the.
You ever seen Cannibal the Musical?
Like,
you ever seen Cannibal the Musical?
No. What's that? A Broadway show?
Oh, you should. No, you should totally watch it. It's the first movie that was made by Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the guys who did South Park. It was the movie they made it in college, and it's a comedy movie, but there's musical songs in it. It's a musical. It's hilarious. There's so many ridiculous things in it. I've tried to want to make clips out of it, but because the quality is so off on it, I don't know how well it would play. But
if they used it in fucking college, it's probably got shit audio because that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was their college project that got him kicked out of college. It got him kicked out. Like
even some of the first South Parks back, like that's how old that is. To have shit audio because that's like the first Simpsons. This is back in the day before everything was digital and fucking shit audio. You'd be like, oh god, it's horrible.
Yeah,
crashing all the time. You can fix it a little bit, but shit audio. I can only imagine. That wasn't Comedy Central's money either. You want to talk about politics, man? I think we gonna talk about any on this stream. You want to talk about it?
Yes, we will. But I'm actually waiting for one more person. Abe actually got back to me. Abe likes to talk politics.
Abe at Fellow Plaza, let's go, bro. That's what we're waiting for.
He'll be soon. He hit me up a little bit ago. He said I'll be right there in just. And so I know Abe
from across the pond because he's from a political country where there are dickheads.
Where things are getting very, very sketchy out there. Yeah.
They're dickheads. And he's got to be careful what he says. So if he's saying something like synonymously like shh on the hush, you know what he means, but he can't say it because he might come lock his ass up because they're fucking pricks over there. Fucking pricks.
So Rockefeller was trying to talk me into this game, and then he sent me this clip. He was talking to me about Night Rain, and he was like, "Hey man, if you ever die, dude, it's just gonna look like this." And I was like, "What are you talking about? What is this?" And he was like, "Dude, just check it out." He's like,
"This is how you recover your friends, Night Rain. You beat the shit out of them." Oh, I got you upside. Let's go.
I was like, "Hey man, you really sold me on this game."
That's how you. So in the game, T, when your friends fall down and they die, like, oh, they need a revive. You can't just go up there and be like, I got you, buddy. Get up, Syfaxx. Syfaxx, get up. I got you, bro. Wake up, Syfaxx.
You just beat the shit out of him.
Another conspiracy theory is, what if you're actually living in a video game? What if you're the NPC?
Oh, a simulation type of deal.
Oh yeah, because how many people have you seen in your life? How many people you seen in your life that just disappeared? They're just gone. They just literally used to have a purpose. You used to see them, and you don't have no idea where those people are anymore. You don't know what they're doing. They don't know what you're doing. Where are they at? What's going on there?
It's funny. Like, what's that other thing that happens? It's like when you're like, say when you're dreaming, and like there's somebody in your dreams that seems like it's familiar, and it's because it's somebody that you met sometime in your life. Just sometime in your life, they'll just randomly pop up in a dream, and you're just like,
wow, that face feels familiar, but it could be from like 5-10 years ago or something that you literally kind of don't remember. It's just like stored in your subconscious for some reason. It's stuff like that is always like I've always been amused by stuff like that. But yeah, always interesting. But let's go ahead and look into some of these tweets from
Tweet.
Okay, so let's hear from you guys first before we start looking into this. That way we can give Abe a little bit more time. But so obviously one of the biggest news stories out there right now in general is Musk versus Trump, or Trump versus Musk, however you want to look at it.
Yes.
It's a political thing, whether you like one or the other, whether you like neither of them. That's kind of not the point what we're going to be talking about. The point is this is happening and this is in real time kind of deal. And it's been the last couple days. And there are two big names that are synonymous with obviously what's going on in America right now. Obviously Trump is the president. Musk kind of helped him. Now it's kind of being disputed. Now they basically had like one disagreement with this they're calling it the big beautiful bill. I don't know what the actual name of it is. That just has been the nickname of it because Trump likes to say stuff like that. And now they're having like a fallout, and people are debating on whether it's a fallout of like if it's real, if it's fake. But I mean, then there's some tweets that have been coming out. With that being said, the person that I was waiting for has arrived. What is going on, Abe? How you doing, man? Or not. Abe doesn't want to respond. Fine, Abe.
Hello.
There he is. What's going on, brother? Yeah.
Still breathing. Yeah, I couldn't hear shit for a second.
All good, man. Well, I know you. I know you're one of the few people. Well, not few, but one of the main people I know that likes to actually talk politics. Usually, we do not do politics over here. So, if people watching, if you don't like politics, I don't feel bad if you want to tune out. Whatever. Thanks for joining. As long as you have, we are going to get into some of the talks about some of this political stuff going on. Usually, that's not what happens over here. But if you can at least hit that like. And if you have liked the content, whatever, and you're not already subscribed, subscribe. Give a couple of my videos a shot. Get some of the live streams a shot. We do all sorts of stuff. Usually it's pop culture, a lot of the stuff around the same lines as what Derek Anderson does, DA. And, most of the people here do that kind of stuff as well. Go ahead and check out their channels. Tonight, we're obviously getting into something a little different, a little not exactly outside my wheelhouse, but something that I normally do not talk about. But we will be tonight. So if you don't like politics and stuff like that, I understand, but that's what we're going to be getting into.
Yeah, man. I saw a little clip of the show just before I came on, and how quickly you pivoted from the 5th of November to Cannibal the Musical.
It was pretty quick, right? Yeah.
Fantastic
We're all over the place. All over the place.
Transition.
That's a great movie, by the way.
It's a fantastic movie. It's
hilarious. Let's build a snowman.
Dude, every time he hits that snowman with that snow shovel, it cracks me up. Something about it, just the amount of anger you need to do to go and do that. Like, go out of your way while you have no energy and just beat the hell out of the snowman. It cracks me up every time.
Or it's in one of the last versions of it, he's like, dude's lost his fucking mind.
My other one of my other favorite ones is he's like, hey, they're going to cross, I believe it's the Colorado River, and they're like, oh, how deep do you think it is? So he just picks up a rock and he throws it, and it just lands in the water, and they all just stand there and they're like, what the hell was that supposed to prove? And he just stands there dumbfounded because he's like, I don't he has nothing. He just gives up. So good. Oh, man.
Classic, man.
So yes, we're going to be talking about the Trump and Musk kind of Twitter war going on right now. Abe, how do you feel about that being on the other side of the pond and whatever? What I'm assuming you talk more politics than probably most people here. I assume.
Me give an overview of what we're talking about real quick before we get into it.
So, Rockefeller, go for it.
Gotcha. So We're talking about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which is a legislative package combining tax breaks, spending cuts, border security funding, and other priorities championed by President Trump. While Elon Musk was appointed to lead the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE as we know it, under the Trump administration, focused on shrinking the federal government, this is a different initiative than the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. There appears to have been some public discrepancy between Trump and Musk concerning the tax bill and potential cuts to government spending. So long story short, Elon came in and did like a short 1/4 term, 4 months of public service to the United States and trimmed about $200 billion in surplus extra government spending that was what they called wasteful spending. So he trimmed off $200 billion. Let me point out one thing. Time is over. He left away. Now
let me point out one thing. When you have these kind of contractors on there, there's a limit of 130 days. When you go into this, there's a limit of 130 days when they have this. He did 130 days.
Really?
He did the maximum amount of days that he was allowed to do under that. So there's going to be a tweet that we'll probably bring up where Trump is like, well, because I got rid of him. It's like, you didn't get rid of him. He had to go. There is a way to like extend it, like if you wanted to, but it's like, he's already working for free, doing all this shit for free. Why would you donate even more of your time to something? But he did he did the maximum amount on like an initial contracts of something like that. So when Trump is sitting there saying that he let him go, I was like, well, that's already kind of suspect. You did he did the max amount of days unless you wanted to keep him on, or you have to. There's a way to do it to extend it, but it's usually 130 days, and that's what he did. So go ahead and continue. I just wanted to point that out.
No, that's where we are right now. So I just did that just to get us up to date where we are. So basically, he's trimmed $200 billion from the government surplus, and what the government was, what they called overspending. Was wasteful spending. And when he was done with his tenure, the 20 days. Apparently now Trump came up with this bill, which is called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and it looks like Trump only hired my man to trim the money because he had ideas of how to spend the fucking cash. So he made this bill, and Elon Musk has come out on Twitter basically saying he's opposed for this. He doesn't think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I can kind of see both sides of it. It's like, sure, trim the wasteful stuff, but if you have a better idea of how to use it, like if Trump, I mean, we heard some of the stuff that was coming out through the Doge reports and all that stuff about what they were using it for. Yeah, go ahead and pause that real quick.
Yeah, I had the volume on. I was just like playing it. So
no, go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it.
You want to play with the music? You want to play with the music on?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so this is. I don't think it's a hit because this is some dumb music, but we turn the music on. Here you go.
Yeah,
this is Elon and Trump in 2024 compared to Elon Musk and Trump in 2025.
I know, yeah. Turn that music out. It's gonna hit us.
As I told you, probably get hit for it. So it's basically.
All right, here you go. Yeah.
Elon and Trump in 2024 going to the elevator, their bros hanging out, compared to 2025 when. If you watch Twitter now, so if you're on Twitter, you'll see Elon's coming out basically. This is a bad idea. What Trump's doing is negative. Like, wait a minute, I thought they were buddies hanging out last week. He didn't realize. I think he kind of got played, and he doesn't realize that. You know what I mean? Trump only had him save the fucking money because he had a real idea how to spend it. But also, Elon's there for ulterior reasons too. If you haven't heard, they're trying to find a new aeronautical program for the federal government. They're talking about taking away NASA from being the national aeronautical space fucking program for the government and initiating SpaceX as the new fucking aeronautical.
Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy
because space is fucking fake, and Elon knows that.
Why would he make another space program then? He's like, no, that space is fake, but here's extra space.
You haven't heard him say, "Hey, listen, it's an ocean above us. It's just an endless ocean that we cannot break through. He says that. He literally says that, hey, man, like, hey, look, like he knows that, but why not make money? Okay, you guys want to invest in this? Dude, they know they cannot penetrate whatever that is, that dome up there, that big LCD screen or LED screen that tries to show us the freaking sky. That is all bullshit that we see. They know that, dude. That's why those people are not religious. That's why they don't care. They're like, oh, go to hell. Oh, there's no such thing. Because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They know the real truth. I know y'all laughing at me about the goddamn flat earth. Fuck it, man. If that shit was real, you'd all piss in your pants.
Look, guys, just so you know, like you can have these kind of opinions and still be a successful person in life. It's crazy. It's wild out there, guys. That's what the American dream is about. You can sound like what T talks about, and you can still be successful. You know,
see,
it's
but
crazy.
You know why? It's scary. It's scary. In the Matrix, take the red or blue.
Nobody's scared of it because nobody believes you.
Okay, I mean that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Nobody believed that. Hey, that Bill Cosby was doing that to women. Nobody believed that there's such thing as Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody believes that.
I believe in evil people way more than I believe that we're in a freaking snow globe.
You can stomach that.
Jesus
you
Christ.
Can stomach that, huh? You can stomach that.
Yeah, because I can believe.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, it's the same way. Look, I like that people believe in religion. I like that gives them solace and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that I need to believe in God or Jesus or anything like that. I respect people's opinions to do that. If I were to be able to meet something like and dude, as someone who's done like all the types of things that would let you possibly meet some of these extraterrestrial beings in your own mind or whatever, and maybe I have encountered some crazy shit like that. I don't have to believe in any of that stuff. I know that I was doing something that was a little crazy or whatever. Doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and be like, look, my whole worldview is just fucking changed forever now because I took something and then I saw something. And the thing that I took told me that I would probably see something. What are the odds of that? Like, that's that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and base everything off of mediocre fucking research and whatever, but it's like, you know, go for it, dude. It's all good.
Yeah, I would say that, you know, there are probably layers of abstract truth that we don't have a lot of access to, but there are layers of truth that we can test that we definitely know are true. And my dude, space is out there.
The eyes on the TV are nightmare fuel. I think
that's some other shit.
When you said we're in a simulation earlier, T, it's like when you start thinking about how big the Earth is, and then, you know, like space, just getting to the moon, and like, well, what if we got to Pluto? Well, that's just this fucking galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. This is one of how many fucking galaxies do we know of? And now it's like, how?
Observable
there
as well.
There are no such things as galaxies. There's no such thing as the Milky Way. The Milky Way is some type of jizz fucking factory. I'm telling you, man, it is all bullshit. It is bullshit.
So every telescope on Earth is uniquely configured to every individual who lives in a very specific place to see the stars automatically at any point in time. To see the same thing. Have you ever seen
a star? Have you ever zoomed in on what a star looks like? It looks like you're underwater looking at something. It looks like it's underwater. It's like it's a pool screen.
If you looked underwater,
dude, you need a better telescope. Clean the fucking lens, dude.
You guys, man, I swear, man. There's no. Look, I'm tired of trying to convince y'all. You know what? You're right. Whatever you think is correct, you're right. Because
you know what? T, you're right.
No. Seriously, my bad, man.
I would say live in a bubble, but I would say live in a bubble, but it's like, you know, round objects might scare you. So, look, man, we're not here.
I'm just playing devil's advocate as well.
We're not here to discuss flat Earth and all this ridiculous.
The moon's made of cheese and galaxies are made of jizz. We know that, right?
We're not talking about ridiculous topics like
so with the whole thing about the
Elon versus Trump,
Elon Musk versus Trump. That Elon Musk versus Trump stuff, man, I'm telling you, man, that's more of a smoke screen, dude, to throw you off about what's really happening, man. Just like they don't tell you how, like, all the billions of dollars gets just transferred in and out of people's homes. The reason why you see these people living in these big ass homes anywhere in any state, you're like, how the fuck can these people afford these homes? Dude, they're being funded by the CIA, they're being funded by the FBI. People are giving them money to tail on you and keep tabs on you. It's been going on since the invention of those departments, man. There's no way people working a 9 to 5. You mean to tell me you're working at Ralph's, but you can afford a big old house over here and over there? Come on. It's been happening, man. Like, they're just trying to distract you from anything I can do to distract you so you won't see what's going on over here. You guys are boys 2 days ago. Now y'all had a falling out. No shit, he's on the Epstein list. No shit, he's been on it. Everybody knows that.
Well, he's been on it because, look, this is something a lot of people either don't understand or they don't know that. So, billionaires and stuff like that, not everyone actually owns their own jet. They actually kind of just, they use maybe one person owns one of them, and then they kind of rent them out type of deal to where you can fly on any one of them that you want. You still pay for like the gas and all that crap or whatever. It's a privilege to be able to use that type of stuff. So, thousands of people could have been on, technically Epstein's jet, but how many people actually went to the island specifically? That's the difference. Like, if the flight log actually says you went to there, that's a different story than just being on the damn jet in general. Because there's only so many of these huge ass fucking things like that out there. I mean, there's a lot of them, but the ones that are out here, a lot of these people use the same stuff. They all just kind of rent it from each other, going back and forth, and they just do the private jet thing. And you just happen to be on a flight log that might have been with somebody else 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Now you're on a giant list of people. Back in like the 90s and stuff, a lot of these people all like intermingled and stuff. But then there's also the report of when like Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and banned him from it in like, it was either the late 90s or early 2000s. It was something around that time. And it was who knows what the reasoning was, but that also happened. It's like, no, screw this.
But that's what I'm talking about. He got his money. Look, how did he get his money? Everybody's like, have you ever tried? How did he get his money? That's what I mean. He's funded by somebody, man. That's like that guy, remember in Cleveland, freaking 12 years ago, to have those girls in his house. He was a bus driver, a regular school bus driver. A school bus driver cannot afford to pay for 3 grown women and 2 kids and 2 dogs on a bus driver's salary. And they killed them in jail. Somebody is paying for these people. And it most likely it's us as taxpayers. Somebody is funding this man. That's why else when they let him go to trial, he dies in jail mysteriously? He's a nobody. Why would they kill a nobody in jail? Because he knows too much, man. He's going to get on there and start talking, dude. It's just like Hillary Clinton before Hillary Clinton, that Benghazi scandal. Hey, they didn't clear your emails. But after that, hey, every 30 days, we got to delete the emails. Why? Because what? She was caught up in all kind of stuff. They were caught up in so much stuff.
With this dude.
Okay.
I don't think any of us are disagreeing with some of the shady practices that go on in politics.
Yeah, I
think we know that's just a matter of fact.
Yeah, so hold on, let me go ahead and answer Miss Sparkles here. So we're getting to the
we're talking about the 5th of November, Cannibal the musical, and
yeah, we're kind of all over the place when it comes to politics. That's why I don't talk about politics, because I mean, even if everyone on this panel probably has different politics, especially I don't know, the British guy, like maybe that guy has slightly different politics because the politics are different over there, but he likes to talk about that stuff.
You'd be surprised at the sheer number of Brits who want to leave the country and become Americans at this point.
I actually probably wouldn't. I probably would not be surprised at all. I totally get it. But also, by highlighting Miss Sparkles, what's up, Miss Sparkles? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yo.
And hey, Rockefeller, if you can go look on Twitter, if you want to pull up 2 tabs, look up Elon's tweets and then look up Donald Trump's and see if we can, or if maybe you can find one that actually matches them. Because there are ones where they go back and forth.
Trump ain't gonna have any tweets because he's on True Social.
No, he posts on here, doesn't he?
No, he tries to,
if you just go to Elon Musk, Elon Musk responds to the Trump
probably
stuff.
The White House stuff.
Yeah, it's probably White House, but still, like if you just go to Elon Musk, you'll probably be able to find it to where you can see
somebody said this, now response going back and forth. We can find a couple videos and we can go back and forth for just a little bit. But Abe, man, what do you think about all this? I'm gonna go fill up my drink. I'm gonna be listening, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you feel about all this with the American politics, like with Trump, Elon? Are you a fan of either one of them being over there? And like, you know, let's hear from somebody that's not in America and how you feel about it. So go ahead.
Well, I like them both for different reasons, but they're both obviously very flawed people. Like, you generally don't find yourself in a position of being a billionaire if you haven't done some questionable shit at some point. In regards to this little spat between them, I think it's more of the fact that Trump has made a move that Elon didn't sort of give his rubber stamp on. And I think he's kind of got it in his head that he's more powerful than he is. Whereas Donald Trump is the president, you know? And I think that's ultimately all it boils down to. He just doesn't like the fact that this wasn't run by him, even though it doesn't have to be.
You're right, Abe. His job is to come in here, go over the files, cut as much fat off as you can. Your job is not to know what's going on behind the scenes. You're exactly right. Know your role. Yeah. He did his job great. You were here for 120 days. Know your role.
See the play, though. See the play. The play is to create more people they're going to lock people up, man. They're going to be in the business of locking people up, man. They're going to do reverse Robin Hood, man. I'm going to rob from the poor to give to the rich, like they've been doing, man. They're going to have to do that. You've got an elderly community that like globally, the baby boomers were not just in the U.S. You got a global baby boomers that are going to die, and they have stuff, and they're not willing to spend. They're not tech savvy. They're not looking to engage in being consumers. So what are we going to do? Either we're going to take the stuff from them, and move forward, or we're going to do something else, and we're going to lock up these young people. Because you're going to have to do that anyway, because this generation this generation Z is problematic. You got to wait for them to completely just phase out. You got a bad batch. Right now, you have a couple of bad batches. How are you going to fix that? You just got a man that kept going in office, and he found them giving money to people who are 200 years old. How are you giving money to people who are 200 years old? That doesn't make any sense. Nobody but what? They were quiet about that. Keep your mouth shut. Nothing to see here, folks. Moving on to page 6. All that stuff, man. It's all kinds of scandals, like Abe said. All kind of scandals that they don't even want to touch, man, because they can't. The truth. They're willing to tell you the truth and know that you can't do anything about it. That is crazy to me.
Here's the truth we can't do anything about. The America is getting so soft, or the world in general. Not only is this current generation T called Gen Alpha, the next generation is going to be called Gen Beta.
Beta.
It wouldn't surprise you, man. It wouldn't surprise you, man. This Gen Z is not in tune to what the norm is, man, because they do not trust the parents. They do not trust generations before them. Because this gen does not want to fight. They'd rather solve their problems via social media or via let's play Call of Duty. That is very, very problematic, because the whole smoke and mirrors is based on bullshit. It's been based on bullshit. And if you got people who don't want to play ball, that means that you can't pull the wool over people's head. You can't. And there's so much information out there that you're ready to consume. If it wasn't a problem, I would tell you this one thing. Do you know that if you Google flat earth or any of that stuff, you know that's the most scrubbed information off the internet is flat earth, or they didn't go to the moon? Those two items in particular are the most scrubbed information, because Gen Z,
next to my history.
Yeah.
Next to my browser history. That's the most scrubbed thing on the internet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they scrub all that stuff, man. If you got those two men, you got two powerful men fighting against each other. Come on, man. Air quotes, fighting against each other. That doesn't make sense.
All right,
They didn't go after Bill Gates.
I was waiting for you to come back to read this. So if you want me to do my Trump impression, okay.
Go ahead and go ahead and do your Trump impression. Go ahead.
So he said, "I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is our greatest bills.
This bills ever.
This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. Make America great again. Thank you, your president."
I'm a little curious about those numbers.
Those are some weird numbers, right? I was curious about that too.
So $1.6 trillion in record cutting expenses. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Elon would know how to run numbers better than Donald Trump, just based off the guy. I don't know, the guy who can actually
fucking Asperger's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can run numbers a lot better.
Who can shoot fucking rockets and also catch them. I have a feeling that guy might be able to run the numbers slightly better than Donald Trump. But, and 68% tax increase doesn't mean like because we're getting taxed 20%, we're getting 68%. It means like your 20% you're getting taxed, it'll go up 68% more than that 20%. Which is going to be some Steiner math, and you're going to end up at like 28% or some shit.
Taxes could, if this doesn't pass, taxes could increase 20%. But Trump's a businessman. He's pushing the, just
he
like
does,
the Democrats
he does know numbers.
Fear monger. He knows numbers, but I'm pretty sure this is an inflated number to let you know that hey, taxes can go up almost 70% here. It might only be 20%. We don't know, but it could be 70. He's doing that because he's trying to flex his fucking. I can do that if I want. He's a bit and. It isn't going to go up. He wants his fucking bill passed. He needs to, if Elon's coming out against it, he needs to go back and revitalize himself and figure out, why people are against it so much. But he hired. Well,
I was just going to point out
for a reason, man. Yeah, Elon hires smart.
One of the biggest criticisms of both Trump and Musk are that they're not actually great businessmen. So they've kind of failed upwards in a lot of their business ventures, but sometimes that is the smart move.
Yeah, you need to like that's the thing though. It's like, sure, you have like 5 failed things and then one thing finally fucking hits. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
But that thing hits for a couple $2 billion. I'd be like, wow, I'm glad those things that were only going to make me a couple million failed. This thing made me $1 billion.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like when people criticize the crypto markets, and you do realize that in terms of investment, it's as borderline random as regular investments. Pretty much. You could have 10 investments that don't go anywhere, and then you get one that goes fucking gangbusters.
If you got 10 investments, I got 5 investments. Rockefeller has 2.5 investments, and then T comes in here. He cuts our investments by 1/3. We're going to end up with some.
See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the 3-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie.
Guys, exactly. The numbers don't lie. Damn it. We swear by Steiner math. Look at that. Rockefeller busts out. He's like 200% chance of winning. There you go. That's
bring back our truth and we can riot. You hear me?
Yep.
Oh man. All right. Hey, go. Numbers don't lie. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on with this. Let's read one more about this.
So that was the first Trump. That was the first tweet, right? Then came a barrage of more, or these are true socials that are being reposted onto Twitter, because this isn't, so the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. Wait, what? I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. First tweet, like, I'm sorry, what? It was Elon's government subsidies and contracts. They need to be terminated. Okay, next tweet. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. This is 15 minutes later. I'm sorry. 18 seconds later. So he tweets one, and 18 seconds later, my man tweets, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. So again, behind the scenes, Elon is there for personal gain. He wants to get this EV mandate for the government, you know what I mean? And he also wants to get that fucking contract to be SpaceX.
That's what Donald Trump is throwing out there. And to a certain extent, I do believe that, because Donald Trump seems to be, I'm not gonna lie, he seems to be the most transparent person. Like he's like, what do I got to lose, man? I'm freaking, 78, 79 years old. Hopefully he makes it through his 4-year term, or whatever. And then what after that, like, how many years do you got left? Are you going to sit there and just lie till the end of your days? Like, I kind of believe him more than the Asperger's guy, even though I do like what Musk does. I do respect that. And I understand how actually smart this guy is. Like, way smarter than me, way smarter than probably all of us on the panel to a certain degree on what he does, because it's like, I've always liked this term, it's like under the judge's clothes, they're still naked. So it's like, just because the judge is really great at law and everything doesn't mean they're good at anything else. They could be fucking idiots at everything else in life. It could be the same with a lot of these kind of people. That's how it is. You probably meet people like that all the time. It's just like, there's that one thing that they're a master of, and then they just suck at life. They're just terrible at everything else. There's probably a lot of that going on with a lot of these jobs out there. And I don't know if Elon Musk is any different, but I mean, whatever he did that was right, obviously made him into one of the richest men, if not the richest. Well, the richest American on earth or whatever, because obviously there's Saudi princes out there that are worth trillions. It's crazy. We don't count them for some reason, but it's probably because you can't calculate their wealth, because it's literally infinitesimal. But it's like, I understand why. Well, I understand it to a degree, but it's like, I don't know why why Musk would go out of his way to be like, let me manipulate this to make more money, unless something's going really wrong behind the scenes at Tesla or SpaceX, to where it's like, it's actually not doing as well as that people think it is.
He's always inflated his numbers for how much space. He's always inflated his numbers too. He's a business owner, Elon Musk. He's always gone out of his way to inflate numbers for Tesla stockholders. He's consistently done that because that's his only bread and butter. So he's trying to get apparently a government subsidy contract for tools through them, and be like, because Biden tried to do an initiative to where everybody had to buy electric cars, and the biggest producer until that was Ford. So he's trying to gain that because he doesn't have the money that he's telling his shareholders he does. So I mean, that's how you play the game. You fake it till you make it. I understand, but if he wants this to go through, he better shut his fucking mouth and allow Trump to do this and just be like, hey, did you forget about me or something, and mention it, instead of being like, oh, this bill is fucking shit. You'd be like, hey, maybe we should revise that bill a little bit to incorporate, I don't know, my EV mandate. And if you're going to play business, you play business. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Sparkles says, hot take, but Elon has gaslit everyone into thinking he is really smart. The electric car, he is really smart. The electric car, he only was part of the charging port.
Yeah,
fine. But there are plenty of videos to where, like, I've always liked this. They're walking by like the rocket, and somebody asked about like some type of expulsion thing that was going on with it, and they're like, well, why didn't you add that to the other thing? And you see him sit there and he's like calculating it, and he's like, that would actually work. So he can obviously run these numbers. He's a numbers guy. Like he understands what he's building. He understands the parts.
at least he understands what's going on. Now, did he invent them all? Probably not.
No, but something.
So is he an inventor? No, but does he understand what's going on under the hood? Yes, I think.
Well,
he
I would also say, as a counterpoint to that, one of the key elements of autism is learning how to fit in with people around you. So, in some instances, that could be gaslighting people into thinking you aren't autistic, and instead you're just quite smart.
Well, no, I mean, he straight up embraced the autism thing. People like he just ran with it, especially because nowadays I don't want to say it wasn't acceptable before, but now that it's such a prevalent thing in society and everything, that, you know, a lot of people just assume if you're autistic, there's probably something you're really good at. You know, it's usually numbers.
He has Asperger's.
There's something crazy.
Very laser focused. He has Asperger's, and everybody I know has Asperger's. It makes him socially awkward, but it makes him also very fucking
whatever they're invested in.
On.
Yeah, yes. whatever their focus is invested in, they're gonna learn like everything about that thing to like the nth degree. And it's kind of crazy because I've straight up talked to like one of my friend's kids is diagnosed with something like that. But the thing that they devoted their time to is like stage plays and stuff like that, which is super weird. But I will give them this: they know everything about it. They know goddamn everything to the point where they explain it to you in excruciating detail. It is crazy. Yeah. Oh, there we go. T's here with his regular mic and everything. What's up, T?
T's in the
we don't got T in the dark. We got T. But we can't hear you, man.
Rainiac, what up?
Are you muted? You might be muted on your end.
You might still have your.
I can see you trying to talk.
I still have shit connected to your Bluetooth.
No, I think he was in his car before. Oh, now we're getting playback. No, wait, hold on.
Hear me now?
Yes, there you go. There we go.
All right. I'm locked in. Continue with your conversation about Elon, dude. I didn't know he's a tart.
You sound good. You sound much better, T. So Elon, again, people give him shit.
You want to bring your mic just a little bit closer? Because every time you lean back, I think your mic has omnidirectional like mine. Like if I go kind of far away, it's harder to hear me, even if I'm talking at the same volume.
Lean back. So So Elon, people give him a lot of shit. I'm a gamer. If y'all don't know, hi, I'm a gamer, right?
Yeah,
Elon
he doesn't say it every stream or anything.
He gets a lot of shit for the Elden Ring build he has. But if you put yourself in Elon Musk's position to where if he plays games, he doesn't have a lot of time. He's probably burning through them, right? By the time he gets to the game, if you play Elden Ring, you played it, Syfaxx. Eventually, he's very smart too. He's running numbers. I played Elden Ring to where I beat it. You know, I've capped out, which is new game plus 7. I'm beyond that, but it caps out new game plus. So I've beaten this game once or twice. You know what I mean? It was like, why the fuck is he running with 2 fucking staffs? Well, one staff also boosts his intelligence, giving the ability to use the Comet of Azor, which is why I got the stupid ass fucking helmet on, because it also boosts his intelligence. He's looking at the fucking the description items, and he's very, and he's only on his first fucking run. He's not leveling up. He maximized the potential of the game just by, did somebody tell him that? No. I didn't have to look on the internet when I was playing it to realize that when you get Radahn's armor, it's like, holy shit, it's pretty heavy, but it's heavy armor for a reason. It's fucking chunky monkey. Hit my ass you want to, you ain't gonna do shit. You can hit me with a Scarlet Rod, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? The only thing I don't want to do is put his helmet on, because then I'd be overweighted. When I put the other one on him, it boosts my intelligence. Also gives me, he has the dual headed, which gives him also intelligence and HP. When you look at his run, it's like, everyone's always gives him shit for being like, oh, he probably paid somebody. No, and after the online started giving us so much shit about he probably paid somebody to be a game for him. Why the fuck would you pay somebody to game for you?
Well, and to be fair, for someone like me who doesn't play that many games, and when I jump onto stuff like that, it's not hard for someone like me who's a fucking layman, you know, like I do regular basic construction work, stuff like that, whatever. I'm not sitting there running rocket numbers and stuff like that. I can jump on a game like that and I can figure that shit out just fine. And I can get just as far. And if I had the extra time, or if I could just sit there for like 4 to 5 hours, I'd probably be just as good, if whatever. That's no problem. So for somebody who is, I don't know, a freaking billionaire because of technically what people think of his brain, whether it might not be as smart as some people in the comments are saying or not. He's probably smarter than I am. I mean, I don't got $400 billion. I don't.
If they're asking for like the stats, Miss Sparkle, I'll go. I'm again. They call me Shilla Fella Plaza on here because I'm always shilling. Apparently,
he's just Shilla.
if he didn't know the stats for the armor, if they were asking him a legit question, what are the stats for the armor then? Hell, I'm a new game plus 8, and I can't tell you that. What is it? Like 180 damage negation in that range or some shit? But I could probably tell you somewhere around, I think 180 damage negation.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're asking him. He's probably like, because he's so fucking meticulous, he's probably like, I can't give you the 183.12, which the actual stat is. So he's probably like, I don't know it. He just gave him a straight answer saying, I don't know it. I'm going to tell you, it's probably in the 180 range. I've also beaten 8 like fucking times. That's the difference.
Like if you were to ask me, like, you know, obviously I do movie reviews and stuff. I'd be like, well, that movie probably made like 212 million. And it's like, well, it was actually 213. Well, fuck me then, right? I guess I am just all of the wrong. I'm so wrong. Don't ever trust me again.
Retard.
I'm 1% off. You know what? Fuck my opinion. Just take me out back and shoot me. I'm off. I didn't look it up because I have Google at my fingertips right now. I didn't look up the exact number.
And I know what you're trying to say, Ms. Sparkles. I'm not saying he's intelligent. He's the smartest person in the world. He is a smart man. He's smarter than the average, but he was smart enough to, just like Disney, buy these fucking patents, buy these ideas. He was smart enough to say, you know what, Miss Sparkles, you can put a fucking battery on a little fucking car, and I can put a remote control and drive it around like up to a mile, which is like, you know, like if as long as it's this small. What if I implemented the internet and made it like a fucking regular size and put a big ass battery in the bottom, save money by, I don't know, buying it from China, putting it on the bottom there, you know, and then he just put shit together. The rockets, he ain't the first person to come up with making rockets. He's just the first person to find the person that was able.
He was the first person to catch it. He was the first person to catch a fucking rocket.
He was the first. He was the first person to find somebody that was able to implement the technology to shoot the rocket and catch it, and he had the money to spend on paying for that patent. That's all.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with a lot of that stuff right there. Hey, now that we got Uncle D here with the proper mic and headphones, man, like you want to chime in on some of this stuff, like with the, let's see here. So obviously the Elon Musk and Trump stuff. Like, do you think it's a ploy? Or are they going back and forth? Because I think some of the charges, like I don't want to say charges, but some of the accusations that they've both kind of thrown at against each other, I think are pretty fucking egregious on both sides. Yeah. And it's from people who are technically, if you were this voting party, or even if you just basically didn't want Kamala there, or whatever, because I don't think anybody fucking wanted Kamala's dumbass there. Because even what's going on now, I couldn't imagine what the hell would be going on with fucking Kamala, other than it would be more of the same and everything would be worse. Like, you know, Pride Month would be extended to like 3 months out of the year or something. You know, everybody like your colonoscopy when you're 40 is going to be an actual fisting or something. It's going to be some bullshit like that, like that, and you got to get one every Pride Month, and then there's going to be 3 months of Pride Month. So like, you're just going to get fisted every month. Like, it's going to be a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
like
it's not even a medical test. It's just a straight up fisting that becomes mandatory.
Yeah, it's just like, we're gonna do it until you like it, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, no.
Again, whatever they're doing, man, I think again, Trump is trying to get anybody that thinks that I don't believe, I voted for him. I'm unaffiliated. All right. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I voted for the man, but don't think I'm not smart enough to realize that human beings are always putting themselves first. Hell, you can't be a first responder if you're not healthy, in shape, had the intelligence to do it. So you better put yourself first over everybody else, because you need to be in a proper state to be able to help, especially if you're going to do it consistently over time, you know? So I understand what Trump's doing. He's probably trying to do something for himself, because this is his last term and nowhere else to go. But Elon's going about it the wrong way, thinking that memeing him on Twitter and is gonna get his attention. No, go back to, just because your tenure is over doesn't mean you can't get your ass back over there and talk to him.
Yep.
And you know,
yeah, it's like, it's still your buddy you can call up, and like, you know, sitting there, like I've been seeing this one go about this kind of claim that's been going around, and I'm kind of in agreement with it, which I find kind of distasteful from Musk, where he's like, you know, he pulls up the Epstein list thing. You know, there's a ton of people on that list.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, a lot of that connects simply to the plane, because a lot of people share that same plane because that's the way that those planes work. People rent them out. People do a bunch of trips. There's a ton of people on those flight logs. The main one that's going to matter is if it goes to that specific location. That's going to be kind of it. That's going to be like, oh shit.
Side note,
I will
that's
say
like
this:
Taylor Swift
you know, if his name is on there going to that specific island, that's going to be fucking terrible. And I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
son of a bitch. Like, I'm going to
Yeah,
be,
that-
I'm
that's
going
a
to be,
totally
I'm going to be
different
on board
conversation
with,
at that
I'm going to
point,
be
isn't
on
it?
board with, you know, getting rid of the motherfucker. I'm going to be on board with that. If that's not the case, and all it is just the old school bullshit that we've already all heard like 3 to 4 or 5 years ago at this point, then, you know, like, okay, yeah, everybody has rented this stupid fucking plane. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But the way that they're going about it, or the way that Musk is going about it, people bring up a good point. Like, if you knew this information, why would you actively have your kids around this guy all the fucking time? There's plenty of pictures. Like, I think that's a pretty damn good argument. Why would you
take
that?
so long to come out with the information, just like Trump said?
It's like, oh, I'm going to bring him around. What? Just because he's the president? Like one time, sure. Like, hey, yeah, let me bring my family in. We all helped him get here. Let's take a big group photo. And then it's like, my family can never go near this fucking guy again. You know, like that. I would understand one picture, just because like, we did this. Get the fuck out of here. You know, let's go. You guys can never come back here. I would understand that to a certain degree, just because it's iconic, and it'd be like, dude, we helped this, but then now he learns about other stuff. Well, then don't bring your kids around anymore. If you learned about it, you know, post election and all that stuff, but you still did, like, up until literally like a week ago. So I find that kind of bullshit. And I find that, you know, defamatory and all that kind of shit, where it's like, dude, you're throwing out some wild accusations on some probably very, very loose claims, you know, to a certain extent. And it's not like he had access to all this stuff.
Is Trump in the same category as Prince Andrew? Hell no.
He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. Mr. President.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Sometimes people are just normal people. You know, the way it says is, you know, swallow your pride and say, you know what, I apologize for this stupid memeing on, on Twitter and online. What the social media discrepancies, forgive me. I don't, you know, sometimes you got to apologize.
It might be because it might be because Trump comes off as like a good, genuine dude. Like, I find him funny. I find him like your neighbor down the street who's been to like, he's that old guy who doesn't give a shit about saying whatever, like he speaks his mind type of deal. Like, we've all talked to those people, and they're like the funniest, most almost genuine people. He seems like that. I hope he's not lying. I really would hope he's not. That would really suck to find out that it's like, oh, this whole time has been a giant fucking ruse. That would suck. I find him to be kind of damn funny, and I'm like, whatever. At least like he seems more genuine than, you know, Kamala would have been by like a country fucking mile, if not like 10. But, you know, if a bunch of this stuff comes out, you know, I'm not going to sit there and be a hypocrite about it and be like, well, shit, like I guess I was duped. Like, I'll happily admit that I was duped. I don't think I am. I would assume more that Musk is trying to just stir the pot, or maybe even go with some of like what a DA was saying earlier, where it's all just kind of fuckery. They're trying to do it to stir up the Congress, because Congress, like, look, they found a bunch of stuff to cut, and then Congress didn't pass like any of it. They just like they're like, look at all this waste, look at all this waste. I think the main waste that they got rid of was US aid or whatever, which, when you look at it, was a giant fucking waste. Good, cool, but it's like there was so much more behind that you could have got rid of, to where it would have been way over 200 billion. but they, Congress screws them over because you got to go certain party members, and I feel like I bet if you went down that list, you could probably be like, okay, this person's paid off, that person's paid off. These people are paid from. They could be on opposite sides of the aisle technically, but they're still paid from the same fucking people. And so they're not going to vote against their wallet, and their wallet is whatever these companies are. So that's stupid.
I don't really have an Elon Musk impersonation. I can try. Let me think how he sounds.
You just kind of pause in between everything.
As
you kind of say, like you speak kind of quickly, and then you stop, right? And then you understand, and then you laugh awkwardly, and then you do something like that.
Government employee.
Yep.
It comes to an end. I would like to thank President at real Donald Trump for the opportunities to reduce wasteful spending. The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government.
Hey, the diction was pretty good on that one.
I'll get better at it. I've never tried to do it.
You sounded kind of more like Bill and Ted. You sound like Keanu Reeves from Bill and Ted.
Now that I'm thinking, I've never done a chat.
Whoa!
It's like, dude, as my scheduled time as a special government employee, like comes to like an end. Dude, I would like to thank Donald Trump for the opportunity, bro, to reduce wasteful spending. The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government. Like, just like, there you go.
Awesome, dude.
Hi, Bob.
That was my Bill and Ted impression.
All right, just as a quick segue, right? At some point shortly, absolutely, I'm gonna have to nip away for a few minutes because I've got a parcel arriving today.
Well, we're coming up on 2 hours, man. So I mean,
is it your eviction notice because you didn't buy the BBC television license?
Shout out to the East Coast.
It's
5:30.
I shit you not, right?
There.
This is it's being delivered by DPD. What would normally be a picture of a van, right, on the tracking map, is a giant gay flag. And where my house is a fucking big rainbow unicorn.
Is that the American flag? What's a gay flag?
Dude, please tell me, like, is there any way you can take a picture of that and then obviously remove your address and stuff? Like,
I've already screenshotted it. I'll show you after we finish with the stream.
Oh my god!
Fucking hell, man!
I mean, if I mean, I guess people might be able to, you know.
I don't care about your gay pride flags,
but I want to see that.
Go to
That's
Philadelphia
hilarious.
And put 3 extremely large flags spanning the entire walkway of the step. Because me as an electrician, all I see is, damn it, that's a fire hazard. It's an emergency exit, and people are gonna run down. They're gonna hit them fucking things, and slide down the entire fucking steps.
How's it going, Trump post reading dudes?
Damn it.
Well, we're just. I mean,
excellent.
All right. Did you say Futanari? Like, what is wrong with you?
Bro,
no, Cinevere's not here. No.
Bro, food is excellent, dude.
So, hey, Uncle T, man, like, what do you think this all like culminates to? Do you think this is all kind of just like random, like really bad hype, and they're going at each other wrong, and like they'll reconcile, or do you think this is real? Like, how do you feel about this overall? I mean, as like the resident like main conspiracy dude here, but at the same time, you know, you're usually pretty insightful on a lot of this stuff.
Like I said before, man, I think it's all a smokescreen. You can't uncrack an egg. They're going to try and clean it up politically. And remember, Trump doesn't say what he needs to say, man. He has a whole team that answers his Twitter and does everything, right? Because they're not respectful of, they're not into trying to get the current generation. They're trying to get like the young generation trying to be hyped, man. Come on. Like he's got to make himself be a hero, man. They're all about marketing. They're all about marketing him. He says the tough things nobody wants to say. And that works for them. That works for them big time because they're like, okay, hey, he's gonna say something sensational. Let him say it. Because he knows the young people aren't, oh, okay, Trump, they're not thinking about that. Why would this be coming out right now? They're talking about Diddy. Now this Trump thing goes. And oh, by the way, it's game one of the playoffs. No, game one of the NBA finals that nobody's gonna watch. It's to me, man, they just trying to just throw something against the wall.
Think it's all smoke and mirrors for something that's even crazier coming up or something.
Yeah, I just think it's totally check a box. We just talked about it earlier. There's no movies after August. There's no movies coming out for another year and a damn half.
TV shows. Let us know, Chad. Any TV shows or movies? What's coming out up until Spider-Man next year? I can't think of anything.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to? The last thing I can think about, at least for this, hold on, at least for the summer. What? Just so maybe I don't know how much longer we're gonna go because I know it's getting late for a lot of people, but just for maybe the next topic's sake for either another stream, and this could be something we could talk about because T is kind of right. I can't really think about many things that are past like the last thing during the summer that I think has been announced is going to be Peacemaker, right? Peacemaker is like in August, and like so that'll kind of bleed into September a little bit. But what after that? Like, because I can look at the next couple of months and I could see technically the bigger name things that are dropping. But what would actually stand out? Obviously, this is going back to pop culture stuff. This isn't political. This is just pop culture in general. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what people think about that.
Harry Potter, which looks
Harry Potter's not dropping this year.
It's not dropping this year. When's that coming?
No.
Is it? Do we know when
it might not be for 2 years, man. It'll probably be sometime middle of next year at best. More than likely, because Harry Potter is usually set like every year in the Harry Potter world kind of starts at like the beginning of Christmas or like before Christmas. It starts around Thanksgiving and then they go through their normal year. It would be smart to drop it around Thanksgiving time or a little before then. So then the episodes could bleed into Christmas because they always do like middle of the book or beginning of the book is Christmas. And then it kind of goes on like it's a school year. Every book is like a separate school year, except for like the ending books kind of get a little wonky or whatever. But the beginning books are all going to be like a basic school year setting. And it would be smart to follow that setting. Like during the actual school year, I mean, that's what I would do if I was dropping a series like that, drop it at like the week before or week after Thanksgiving and let it bleed out until, maybe the end of January, depending on how many episodes you're going with. Something like that would probably be the smart idea for something like that. But yes.
I think the whole Elon Musk and Trump thing, man, they're going to try to we're going to shake it out. We're going to have a beard. They're going to come with some kind of gimmick. You have to understand, man, this is the generation of gimmicks. All about gimmicks, dude. And they first got us on with gimmicks, man. And no offense, Syfaxx, but hey, tattoos right now are a gimmick. Anything else, comedy is a gimmick, right?
I've had them for over 20 years, man. Those motherfuckers followed me. When I got one, look, I understood this, and let me just throw this out there just because I understand that tattoos are, they are a gimmick now. The only thing that's good about that now is like when I go to a job interview or when I've tried to apply to new jobs or whenever I don't have to like worry about covering them up. When I got my original first one, I got my first one at 15. I made sure it was around where my sleeve would cut off to where I could wear like a nice dress shirt and it would cover up my tattoo. Just because like I was told all my life growing up, you won't get hired if you have tattoos. So I made sure any tattoos I got, I could cover them up real easily. And then, I felt like it was a few years after that, you could go to any place ever and all of a sudden there was people just tatted to the nines working at like whatever fucking fast food place, Hot Topic, obviously, but any place in general, people just had tattoos everywhere. And I was like, well, shit, I've always wanted all these tattoos. I've wanted them. So I was like, cool, I'm just going to let it ride. I'm going to go for it. And so now they're more socially acceptable. That's the only thing that I've liked about this kind of like movement. Cause I was like, cool, like I can do this. And none of my shit's offensive. It's all comic book and fucking anime stuff. It's not like I got like crazy shit going on, but I understand what you're saying.
I'm not. What I'm just saying, like you live in, this is a gimmicky generation, man. And you see it all across sports. You see that in entertainment too. It's all about the WWE effect of things, right? Just, hey, how gimmicky can I pull? Can I get away with this? Can I pull this off, man? Is the audience more accepting of that? Because they don't want to alienate any dollars, man. And that's why I say it comes across as a gimmick, man. Anything they can do to get your dollar is what they'll do. They're going to come across as, hey, man, we had a beer and we talked it out. We're good. Oh, man, matter of fact, we had Coors. I guarantee you Coors Light is going to send them beers to say, hey, we'll throw $1 million to you if you just do this. You know, show us off in your beer commercial. You guys had a beer and you talked it out. Elon Musk doesn't even look like the kind of guy that would have a beer, right? And he's an odd person. He is very odd. But this is a different generation. Odd is good. Weird is good. Weird is the new norm. Like, you cannot show up to a job interview with a suit and tie on now. They look at you like, what are you doing? Are you here to take my job? No, I'm not hiring you. This is a topsy-turvy world, man. And everything is done to placate everybody else to make them feel more comfortable, dude. This situation, these are two grown men going at it like they're two teenagers online about real information, about real-time stuff. It makes sense. I voted for these people. What are you doing? It's irresponsible to be online doing that.
Yo, we're here, Abe. You're back, Abe. We're here.
There you go, Vorpal. There's your hat for you.
So I just went downstairs, right? There were supposedly 5 delivery spots away. Just refreshed it. 5 delivery spots away. Refresh it again. Sorry, we missed you. I'm like, you fucking what? Unbelievable. Now I've got to wait till fucking Monday.
How do you admit they didn't even knock?
No.
I worked for FedEx for about 5 years. That was the thing. You had to knock and ring the doorbell, even though 95% of the time when you're delivering, most people aren't home. Like people just aren't home. And then on top of that is like, you just find something to hide it under. The funniest one that I ever did, and I did it on purpose because of how ridiculous it was. Because this is something they trained us on, right? They were like, look, if there's a package, like it doesn't matter, guys. Just go ahead and just like take the doormat and throw it on top of the package. And I was like, oh, okay. And most of the time, it's a little Amazon package. You throw it off you put it in the corner. You put the doormat a little offset so people realize that the doormat's a little off. And you're like, okay, you lift the doormat. There's your package, so nobody can see it from the street. The funniest one, somebody ordered a set of 4 fucking tires, like big ass tires. And I just put the doormat on top of the fucking tires because I was like, you motherfuckers ordered tires through the mail. Like, this is what you get.
I get the sneaking suspicion a lot of people are going to be missing their deliveries today because what he's probably done is just got out of the truck, took a picture, and then fucked right off.
Yeah, the only time we would do that is so they started implementing something. Like when I first started working there, it was Tuesdays through Saturdays because like Mondays are kind of sketchy, but it's because it's like Tuesdays for businesses. It's like, okay, everybody's there Tuesday through Friday type of deal. And so businesses would have this thing where it's like, most businesses are open on a Saturday and Sunday. And there'd be like one fucking random business that'd be open on Sundays. So a lot of people, when they would have a random business delivery on a Sunday, they would just drive up. They would see there's no goddamn cars in the parking lot, and they would take their picture. They just type in the little code. It was like an 011 or something like that, if I remember right. And it would just be like business closed, and bam, and you'd fuck off because most places are not open on Sunday. And of course, every time you did that, that business would call in and just be like, you guys didn't deliver my package. You didn't try. And I'm like, I was in an empty fucking parking lot. There's nobody fucking here.
how am I supposed to just determine somebody's actually in there? There's not even a car in sight. But no, there's always somebody, man. Always somebody who's just like, no, we were there. And I'm like, there wasn't even a car here. Shut the fuck up. Stop ordering shit on the weekend.
Shout out to Elon for getting Trump elected.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He did post a tweet like, I think it's time for America to have a third party. No, get out of here, that BS. You know what I mean? It's like, no, two-party work. DA said it. Two-party works as long as your party ain't so fucking screwed. Someone needs to go over there and fix the second party, which is falling so flat off. They're losing people by the droves because they don't even know what they want anymore. You know?
Or you might be thinking of funding another party that he could have even greater control over. Because he can never be president because he's foreign born.
Exactly. So remember, he has, just like he has, initiatives for a personal gain in this Doge bullshit to try to get an EV contract or possibly the next space program.
Why would he even care? Why would he? He's got so much. Do you know how long it would take you to get the money that he's got? It would take like 5,000 years to get just if you started right now, it would take you $5,000. I mean, 5,000 years to catch up to his money.
He would have got that money.
It would take that amount of time, even if you made $1 million a year.
Right. He would never got that money if he had the mentality of why quit now.
No, but I'm just saying, like, why?
He doesn't going.
That's what I'm saying. $1 million a year, you still wouldn't get there because of taxes.
He's like an evil genius, man. Like, he doesn't need to do. He's doing whatever he's doing is because he's bored. He's just bored. I'm telling you about money.
I think he's just power hungry.
No, but when
Trump
you got
doesn't
money,
need the money.
when you got money, I swear to God, when you got money, dude, you are just bored. You're just bored. Yeah. You just because there's nothing. You conquered everything. You're financially free. You're like, man, what do I do, man? I'll just go gamble. I'll go do something else, man. What do I?
Let's go fuck with the whole continent. Why not just go fuck with the whole continent? Why not just do that?
Right.
Like that's what you can do in your spare time. Like
he doesn't care, dude. He doesn't want. And that dude is a frugal man. He's like, I don't need to buy a place. Why do I need to buy a place to live? I'll just live with my friends and give them rent. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, you don't need a car. Why do you need a car? One of the craziest things he said that made sense. It's like, why are you paying for that car every day? You only driving maybe like a total of like 8 hours the entire week. I mean, like, why do you have a car? Like, and that made people say, what am I doing?
Elon Musk is like the real life Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons.
Yeah. He just his level of thinking, and he's not articulate enough. He can't verbalize everything he's thinking because his brain is thinking so fast and he's so smart. But like he says stuff that makes look at what he's got on. Look at the outfit. That dude has $1 billion, like multi-billions. He's not tripping off of that. Dude, come on. He's not tripping.
Dude, yeah, that's an autistic outfit if ever I've seen one.
I used to clean like swimming pools and build swimming pools, but like there was this one specific guy. I always remember this fucking dude because he lived up where the 405 overpass is?
Yeah.
So you know that one? Yeah. So there's one of the exits when it kind of like goes over the hump. It goes up into the hills and there's like a giant golf course. There's a random billionaire who just lives in it's probably one of his many houses, but it's one of the houses that lives off of a golf course that's up there. And he would just pay probably ridiculous amounts of money just to clean his little jacuzzi. That was all of like 4 foot by 5 foot jacuzzi. It would take all of like 5 fucking seconds. And I met the guy finally one time out up there cleaning. And he just looked like, I'm not gonna lie, he looked like a fucking slob. He was just like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, hi, what's going on? He's just some old dude. Yeah. He's just chilling. And I was just like, hey, what's up, man? Shook his hand. Obviously, I'm not going to say his name. But and my boss, I remember I was like, dude, how much money does it need to be up here? And he's like, I was like, is this one of your millionaire clients? And he's like, no. I was like, oh, so he just makes good money. He's like, no, he's a billionaire. And I was like, what? Like this guy's worth $1 billion, like over $1 billion. And he was the most normal looking, like almost hobo looking motherfucker you'd ever see in your life.
It was
just like, he just doesn't care. He just doesn't, he's just like, I got nothing better to do, man. Yeah. And he was just chilling there, living next to a golf course, just not giving a shit.
And he paid probably double to triple what we would do for like an Olympic sized pool for his little ass jacuzzi, and he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit at all. It was crazy.
That's how they are, man. All those
they just don't care.
My buddy's always like, man, if I had $1 million, man, no, you would, man. You had $100,000, man. You know you would, man. That stuff would go by so fast, man, because you have to keep it going, man. If you get $100,000, you're gonna need another $200,000 to maintain that $100,000. You know,
well, it's because people go out of their way to live outside of their means. Like I feel
you're forced to now. You're forced to live out of your means.
Nobody's forced to at all, man.
You like eggs? If you like eggs was expensive. If you want to go somewhere in a car, dude, it's expensive. Everything is priced out so that you're forced to live out of your means if you're single. And you could do without, sure. I know what you're saying, Syfaxx. You could live without stuff, man. You can say, okay, I can minimize this and minimum, but not when you're being taught to like simplify things. When you're taught to simplify things, you're gonna cut corners. And cutting corners means, oh man, I'll just buy this, I'll do this, I'll do that. I know I'm guilty of that. I cut corners all the time, man. But you know what about corners? You get cut up. You get all kinds of fucking scrapes on that shit, man. So if you're young, I would advise you to stay away from that stuff. Don't cut corners.
At Lito's Pizza, they sell their pizza square because they don't cut corners.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That is
damn it, Rockefeller.
But look at what I mean about when you're talking about people living by their means. This economy is based on people spending money. This economy cannot survive without people spending money. It needs young people to spend money, and it's a global economy. So now it's not just isolated to America and England. It's everywhere. We need you to spend money. And what avenues do we create for you to spend money? I got Amazon. I got freaking, nobody even talks about that other one. What's that other site that was Alibaba? All these other sites to make you spend money.
That's big outside of America. Alibaba. I mean, Alibaba doesn't really seem to stretch. I don't know if that's because it's shipping.
It comes out here, and now probably because of the tariffs, people aren't ordering it as much.
I think it's based in Asia. So y'all being on the West Coast, you might see it more having to ship right across the water.
Yeah,
I don't see it over here on the East Coast at all.
There's one called Coupang. That's a Korean company. They're like Amazon too. All these people need you to spend because they have to justify the waste. They have, look up Amazon's returns, like the island of return toys. Like, golly, is bad, man. Amazon was, man, they were making so much money, man. They were writing off stuff, dude. Just, it was terrible, dude.
Dude, I mean, even back in the day when I was, I don't know, let's hear back in like 2011, 2012, right? Like I think I was working at Osh. You know what Osh is? Orchard Supply Hardware. Yeah. So I was working there, and I was just a forklift operator, whatever. And there'd be times where like it was either every quarter. I think it was every quarter because they got to do like a quarterly like assessment of whatever they got and whatever we threw away or broke or whatever, damages and stuff. Like this was even back then. This is how much waste was even going on then. This was a good 12, 13, 15 plus years ago, give or take, and it would be like, if there wasn't enough stuff that was broken because you guys were just doing your job so well, they would go out of their way to tell you to go throw shit away or break it or whatever. They'd be like, you need to find like $500 to $800 worth of waste. And you would just go and break and throw shit away. That's what these companies do. It's just like, go throw it away. Find something that isn't selling that much, find enough of it, find some mulch bags, find some concrete bags, rip some holes in them, throw them away, and now it's a write-off because we need to hit a certain number because this number gives us our bonus for whatever for the store. And that's how these stores operate. And now think about how much bigger that scale is. It's even the bigger the scale, the more the waste, which is crazy. Because then they get even more back.
All this stuff, man, all of what they do, man, like a return rate, man, average store or warehouse, their return rate is supposed to be within like less than 5%. You know how hard that is, man? That's hard. They got damage. When a truck makes a right turn, dude, everything goes to the left and like breaks up and like causes all kind of damage. Like the truck drivers don't give up their contract. They don't care when they're making a right or a left-hand turn, man. They don't care at all. That's why they can't slow down. There's so much momentum in the truck. It's a 53-footer, man. Boom. That stuff is slamming up against it, man. Like there's no air pads in there when there's dunnage bags that you can put in there, but they're not going to stop all that.
It's funny you not being a driver. You know that left-hand turns are obviously more dangerous because you can take them at this is what I see people do all the time. If you're taking a right-hand turn, you're probably taking a 90. So you're going to have to slow down and take that turn, right? And if you're a big truck, you're going to have to take it really wide. If you're taking a left, you can take that bitch 45, hell, 30. Yeah, you break the shit out of that bitch to the left.
You can do like how you're supposed to run plumbing lines, or like even electrical lines. You're only supposed to, what is it? You're only supposed to run 345s in an electrical line.
You're not supposed to do more than 360 a circle. You never see. Plumbing line is different.
So it's like two 245s and like a 35, and you can kind of get away with it because you got to snake through the line and then you grab the wires back through. And the more bends you have in it, the worse you're going to have to your snake in there. And like that shit applies to so many other things out there. If you've ever ran, like obviously Rockefeller does electrical, so running lines. You can't have too many bends in that shit. Like really sharp bends. If you have too many of those, you can't run. Like I'm assuming Rockefeller did the same way that I did back in the day, where you run a snake through one end, you tie up all your wires, and then you pull your wires back through. But you need them to have the right angles to actually get through. Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, the other way, instead of having to feed through and pull wire through, now you just put a little fucking what you call a rabbit, the string go. You put it back and you go, suck it, motherfucker. It just sucks right through.
That's probably a much better idea. Yeah.
But a little bit of stuck in my career.
All right, here we're going to be winding down here. We're going to go ahead and end here in about 10
Hold on, man. I'm sending you this image real quick because they want to see this.
Yeah. No. We can keep going for a minute.
We're just coming to an end, so this is where it starts getting good. So
we're winding down.
Hit the like button, share all that good shit. We aren't leaving yet. Come back. Get your ass back here. Hold on.
This is where T's like, yeah, no problem. Australia isn't real. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
The emus won.
Next, you're going to tell me that New Zealand is real and Middle Earth isn't real, where they filmed Lord of the Rings. I haven't even seen that movie. Don't you dare say Australia is not real.
All right, I gave it to you, Syfaxx. I gave it to her. Present that.
Hey, where's the pause on that, man? Where's the pause on that? Where's that at? In the private chat? Where's it at?
Okay.
Oh no, you gave that to Rockefeller. Like
here it is. 178 worlds under the Great Dome. This is why.
Okay, we're doing some conspiracy for the last 10 minutes. Here we go.
Oh shit. Right.
So here's the thing. It's a crazy story that there's 178 worlds under this Great Dome. Like
it sounds almost unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah,
I get it, man. But, hey, no, we'll let you go, man. We'll go.
No. Seriously, I understand, dude. I totally get it. I was like that when I was first, but I started like saying, "Wait a minute, what if this is real?" It's not that I wanted to be real. If it's real, oh my gosh, man, 100. Can you imagine?
I do have a question for you though. Just before you go off, like, where's the furthest place you've ever traveled to?
Furthest place I've ever traveled.
Yeah, you ever been on a cruise ship that went down to South America?
No, I haven't. No. It's not going down. It's just flat. It's just.
Okay. While you're thinking of that,
however, where's the furthest place you've ever traveled outside of California? That's not America. Where's the furthest place that needs to do with land or sea?
I would probably say Jamaica or DR. I've been to DR. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been a bunch of places, man, but I'm like, I'm fascinated by the fact
technically not all that far.
but when you look at it, but see the way they show this to you, always show it to you in a circular pattern. So when you think it's upright instead of laying down, they don't show you. They show it so your brain will never question anything. If you constantly see it, standing upright, the earth upright instead of flat on its back, you don't think of it, but when you do see it on its back, you start to say, wait a minute here. How come I never thought of that? It's because it's how it's presented to you. It's how it's presented. If this thing is real,
okay, what would be your counter offer to where if you took 2 planes, you flew them at the same longitude and latitude and at the same height, enough height that it would clear every mountain, because mountains are, let's say,
planes aren't dipping, their nose aren't dipping. If you're on,
they don't. Okay, now if you put them in opposite directions and you flew them around the globe at the same longitude and latitude, and they stayed there the whole time, and then they crashed into each other, would that make you believe? Because like if they just kept going in opposite directions, they should never hit each other if it's flat, right? How could you come back around if it's flat?
But they're not going to come back around. The reason why they're flying, they're flying.
So you're saying if we took 2 planes in opposite directions at the same longitude and latitude, flew them in opposite directions, they would never fucking see each other again.
There's not enough jet fuel for them to get around the world like that. There's not enough. That's why they don't fly like this.
Lithium-ion batteries are hybrid.
They don't fly like this. They don't fly.
Do drones next to them with fuel extra on top of them. And in theory, like this is all theoretical, right? So if you just did it, but it was the same longitude, latitude, same spot.
Are you afraid that what I'm saying?
Are you scared? No. Are you scared that if my thing would actually just work, that it would just blow up the last like 10 years of your life of research?
That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
It would absolutely work.
So T, let's just take one plane, right? Let's say it points itself towards the edge of this disc. It just keeps going. Where does it end up?
Edge, though. That's the thing. There's no edge in the map behind me.
Then how does it end up?
In the map behind me, if you blow me up, if you go to me, right, in the map behind me, the portion that is beyond is undiscovered. This is like, that's the unknown. The white part here is undiscovered. That's undiscovered land. They don't know what's beyond that. That's just from what they can gather.
If it's undiscovered, how do you know that it's undiscovered?
This is just a map. This is a supposed map of what they have, man. This is like finding the holy grail of something or some old information. Like, oh my God, I didn't know that existed. Like Antarctica was once not ice, but there's stuff underneath it. There were maps about Antarctica and nobody had ever been there before, right? They just found it. And it's
you think out of all these years of having access to flight and everything, nobody just picked a direction and was just like,
they cannot do that.
Fuck it, let's go.
They cannot do that.
Do you know how just full sent it in a direction and film the whole thing?
Do you know how right now you never get back? Do you know how far that ice is?
You don't have to get back.
Is that what there's? Hold up. Look at the top left on top of 178. It says oil log portal. Is that what? So when Syfaxx was asking if you fly one way and would you hit? You would, because it looks like they're having like a portal, like a black hole.
There are all kind of portals. The Bermuda Triangle is a portal. Right back to
boom, but you're eventually gonna hit. So you're not. You got to pay attention. You're not bringing into. No, you got to add the variable of the oil log portal.
There are all kind of portals that are here, man. The Bermuda Triangle is you have to understand, we are on a reserve. We're the zoo animals. Everybody outside the zoo comes and visits, and we call them extraterrestrials, extra territories. They're just coming to basically get the cattle and go back home, tag and bag it. That's it.
Okay, that could be possible, but what has that got to do with the Earth somehow being flat?
Because it's not what you think it is. It's not some ball. It's just some flat ass place that goes on and on.
You tell me, you've flown like vast distances in a plane. You've never seen a curvature? Because I've been on many cruise ships, and I can see the fucking curve like no other, man. Like it is plain as day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Just every fucking time I've been on one. Just every time though. I mean,
I'm telling you right now. I'm just telling you, fellas. Look, check this story out. No, it's called Nos Confundum. Nos Confundum on YouTube, dude. It's one of the greatest stories that I ever heard, man. That is super interesting.
Okay, how do you spell that?
No, I just put it in
You
the
just
chat.
put it in there. There it is.
It is
if anybody's interested in some flat Earth conspiracy
it's
theory
literally
stuff, this
Alice
is what
in
it is.
Wonderland.
But at the same time, look, if you're on T side, go ahead and check this out. You know what? Maybe just for the sake of argument, I'll go ahead and check it out. Just so I can be like, let me go ahead and dispute some of this shit or whatever. Whatever. The main thing that I can dispute about it is I've been on massive fucking cruise ships and I've gone to like a lot of places and
you can't see
I've
it.
seen the fucking curvature of the goddamn Earth.
You
It's
see
crazy.
the curvature? Pause.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
it literally
I've been on
bends.
planes.
It literally
Once you get to a
bends.
certain point, you can look out of a window and see the slight curvature of the Earth.
For you to look out and see any curve other than your own is a pause. All right,
It's not a positive. Have you been to a top of a fucking mountain? You can see it from the top of a
I
fucking mountain.
Yeah, it's flat as can be. Flat.
Oh, you need to get your fucking
then you
vision
need your
check. 'cause-
eyesight check, brother. Yeah.
Flat like Sydney Sweeney. So flat. So flat.
Yeah.
Like Sydney
Got
Sweeney.
these fucking threes up in here.
We going talking about mid, huh? Mediocre, man. Look.
All right, guys. With the flat Earth stuff out there and everything, we went on with a bunch of stuff. We're going on just under 2.5 hours. Let me go ahead and give people some outros. And because I know Rockefeller has to get up here in a bit. I don't know what Abe's doing.
Rockefeller, you doing it today? You doing your show?
Yeah, actually, in about 12 hours, I'll be doing YouTube and chill. I didn't even realize it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, we're about to get out of here, people. Thanks everybody that's in the chat that's been hanging out. Everybody new from DA stream. That's awesome as shit. Thanks everybody for coming over and hanging out with us. Awesome. Speak of the devil shall appear.
There you go. There's the alarm. So with that being said, let me go around the horn here real quick. Let's go with Rockefeller Plaza. What do you got coming up, man? Today and for the rest of the week, and let's see what's going on.
Man, 12 hours from now, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So do the math. 12 hours from right now, we're going to do YouTube and chill. That thing I had up earlier, it's going to be me, my buddy Leo, the gamer. We're going to have Abe. T, if you ain't busy, I'll send you a shout out too, because I'd love to have you, man. I know you're always busy at that time, but it'll probably be like 3 o'clock your time. Come hang out on my other channel, Rockefeller Plaza 2. If you follow me on this one, I'll be doing gaming. Unless you're a gamer, you probably don't want to watch me because that's what I would be like, pissed off and throwing shit. So until then, join me on Rockefeller Plaza 2 for YouTube and chill 12 hours from now. Hope to see you. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out.
Right on. Let's go with T, the flat Earth conspiracy guy, but also a great guest. And also, hey, man, even though we give you a lot of shit, whatever, I appreciate that you're so dedicated to it. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and save that Nas Confundum thing. I'll check it out just for your sake. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to believe it, but at least
I'm going to watch that shortly.
I'll be able to talk to you about it. And you know what? Fine. Like, look, you sold me on the idea of looking at it. I don't believe in any of this shit. I think it's funny because
story, dude.
I'm sure, dude.
Don't believe it.
You know what else is fascinating? Lord of the Rings. It's all fake, but it's fucking amazing story.
I bet it is. I bet. Yeah. With this story about what it is, Lord of the Rings is probably based on one of these places, man, where this stuff is happening.
Like, probably somewhere in the middle.
Wouldn't that be trippy, man? Like I said, they're supposed to be living in the future. We're supposed to be in the past. So that's what kind of rabbit hole this thing is. It is beyond.
Why are we in the past? Why aren't they in the past? Why aren't none of these ones in the past? Why do we?
Because they're in the future. Because that's why they come over and they're seen as something else because they're living in the future and we're in the past.
Okay, what if some of those are in the past? What if the other ones are in the future? What's going on here?
I'm just saying, man, we're supposed to be.
I know.
That's supposed.
I'm just throwing out counter questions to you. But with that being said, hey man, like, are you doing some cooking with tea? You gonna do some conspiracy?
No,
dude, you always bring up this stuff. And
do a conspiracy, man. People want it. The people want it. Do a conspiracy.
I might make tempura shrimp the other day, man. But I really don't have nothing to cook, man. Like I could have made chili. I made chili cheese baked potato today. Chicken chili cheese baked potato. That was really good.
Make some shrimp scampi, dude. Shrimp scampi. There you go. Shrimp scampi's bomb.
I'm just man. I didn't give y'all my meals, man. I ain't got nothing left, really, man. Nothing.
Oh, come on, dude. Just you make some of the same meals, just throwing a different type of ingredient into it. Put some bacon. Well, you said you don't like pork, so I don't know. Throw something else.
I got beef bacon. I got beef bacon.
There you go, beef bacon. Go do some beef bacon. Right on. So T will possibly be doing some stuff, but I think, dude, people actually like your conspiracy stuff, whatever. That's all good. And you should just run with it, man. It's obviously something people actually like tune into and like.
Now, you know why I don't do it, man? Because you know what, YouTube would for sure shadow ban me, man. If I start doing that, man.
Always put a question mark, exclamation point on it.
None of the channels here.
Exclamation point, question mark.
Look, none of the channels here are big enough to get shadow banned. You'll be all right. Like if you blow up out of nowhere, then yeah. Maybe you can worry about it then.
If I wanted to push the button, I could push the button, man. But I'm,
go for it.
This is just fun.
With that, with our last guest on here, we got Abe. Hey, what do you got going on, man? I know you're a guest on a lot of streams. You don't actually do too much YouTube stuff on your own or at all, but you're on a bunch of stuff. Go ahead and shout out where you're going to be. Obviously, Abe is a great guest. He's a great supporter on a lot of channels. Go ahead and shout out where you're going to be if people want to catch you on some of the next stuff, man. Go for it.
Cheers. Well, I'll be on Rock Show later on. Then several hours later, I'll be on Beelzebub over on Beelzehub. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be on Screaming Into the Void over on Samuel the Infamous's channel. And that's all I got for now until the Wednesday Chinwag. Because Tomby is still in the States. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do any gaming stuff or anything like that in between. But I'll probably pop up here and there again anyway. You'll see me around.
Well, right on. Well, thank you guys for joining a random late night Syfaxx. It's a kind of more like an after party. Obviously, I wanted to follow up on some of DA's topics and everything. And I'm trying to I'll probably be almost doing a stream either every day, every night, possibly every day and night until next Thursday, because I'm going to be gone from Thursday to probably about Sunday. I got my cousin's wedding I'm going to up in Yosemite out here in California.
Nice.
She's finally getting married to this guy she's been seeing for 10 or 12 fucking years. It's been forever and a day now. Every time I go up there, they've been together forever and a day. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We finally got an invitation for a wedding. So cool. I'm going to be checking that out. So I'm going to be trying to do a lot more. Thanks everybody for hitting the like button, the subscribe. I've been working on my, I have a whole script written out, or my review for Ballerina. I just need to learn how to use DaVinci now, because CapCut gave me the shaft in that you can't export 10x80 video or 1080 videos without paying for it. I'm not fucking paying for just a fucking video because I don't do all that much editing. I just do my scripts. Yeah. I put my intro video in front of it. I try to do it all in one shot. Maybe I cut out some dead space. That's kind of it. And so I'm like, I don't feel like I should pay fucking $10 for that bullshit. That sounds retarded. And so I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to learn how to use DaVinci. Plus, if I learn how to use DaVinci, there's actually a lot of cool editing features. So maybe I can start throwing in some cooler stuff to make my videos maybe more entertaining and more interesting. And also, it seems like a cool program to learn how to use anyways. So I'll be working on doing that. And then, like I said, I'll probably be trying to do... I'll probably be trying to do video, or at least a stream, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, something like this. If I get guests, great. But I'm going to be doing a bunch before next week, because I'm going to be gone for 4 days. People are going to be like, what happened to Syfaxx? I'm going to be gone having a good time with family that I haven't seen in a couple of years. So it'll be a good time. But thanks to all my panel, Rockefeller, Abe, Uncle T, and hell to the chat, everybody that showed up. And also thanks to DA for the raid, because shit, man, we had the most consistent viewers that I've had on any of my shows, consistently, with an active chat. Because I had one time, like I said, there was technically more, but I felt it was all bots. That shit was ridiculous. So thank you guys for joining. We will catch you on the next one.
One more thing, man. Hey, shout out to my mom, man. June 5th, man, was her birthday. She would have been 81 years old, man. Love you, mama.
June 5th. Happy birthday to Mama T. Mama T, happy birthday out there. Hope you were doing well. What did you say? It would have been? Did you say it would have been? Okay, so she's passed away then.
She's passed away.
Well, you know, rest in peace, Mama T. Have a good, well, rest, you know, RIP, I guess, you know. Jeez, I don't know how to send off on that one.
It's okay. You got that.
But I was like, you threw me off of that one. But
yeah.
With that, I'll leave you guys with some music, and then I'll catch you guys all in the next one.
Everyone.
Peace out.
Bye, folks.
Whiskey leader, wandering soul, to heaven's watering hole. I'll drink to forget a memory, but hell's got one more trick for me. I walked up, said, what's your favorite sin? She could have killed me with that smile. Said it's lust with the touch of rare, but I'm a glutton for love, so let's just dance. Next thing I know, we were burning up that dance floor. I didn't know what I was in for. Well, I might be an open sinner, but I know I'm no false saint. That wicked little angels got me praying for some faith. $151 and a touch of fun got her going wild. Sin on my lips after just a sip, it's just her style. Envious stares and crocodile smiles talk of the scene. Sin for sin will be the ones they could only dream. Next thing I know, we were burning up that dance floor. I didn't know what I was in for. Well, I might be an open sinner, but I know I'm no false saint. That wicked little angel got me praying for some faith. Go and sip for sin, whiskey and gin, straight shooters, let loose, flying. Devil lies with angel stars, gets most men fighting. Take a shot of sin, one for me and them, but we're still burning up that dance floor. I didn't know what I was in for. Well, I might be an open sinner, and I know I'm no false saint. But that wicked little angel got me praying for some faith.
Hello. Hello.
Syfaxx, you're still alive.
He died.
Syfaxx, you're still alive.
No, he died. He's gone. He's never coming back.
I think we have some issues here.
Breaking news, everything is bad. It's just as terrible as you imagined and probably worse. With more, we go to Tom Lee Cruz. Tom Lee.
We're all in danger, Dan Lee.
Jesus Christ, what can we do?
Absolutely nothing.
It was good knowing you, Tom Lee.
I can't say the same.
That was unnecessary. We're just now getting in reports that all the children have exploded. They will be missed. Let's check in with Olivia Lee Rodrigo. Olivia Lee, where are you?
That's none of your business. You hear that? Cut the music. Do you hear that?
What do you hear?
That's the sound of us slowly dying. Can you hear it?